But
Oh,
with that
whoops.
said, as
My fault.
Mars gets herself ready and everyone else, last time all of you managed to begin exploring your house a little more thoroughly. Uh, Starting with the trapdoor that you found in the living room. Upon moving through the trapdoor and down a very long spiral staircase, you came to what seems like a crypt of some kind. The first room seemed to have a well with a couple of braziers and two statues off to either side, and a portcullis going to the next room. The portcullis itself uh, did not want to let y'all in, but Velvy decided that she did not care and forced it to let y'all in. However, shortly thereafter, you discovered that, at the very least, dropping a torch down the well seems to light all of the braziers and open the portcullis. Inside of that, you found a riddle in there, as well as several tombs or sarcophagi within. Some depicting kings, some depicting queens, some depicting knights, and some that simply have nothing in it at all, or nothing on them at all. Working through it, you managed to solve the puzzle. And within each of them, or on each of them, you found names associated with each. Inside of them, however, you found bodies. Some you recognize, some that were you, and some that you do not recognize.
Ah,
With that,
sorry, I dropped my cards.
oh, you're okay. With that, today's session is the Seven of Pentacles: upright, long-term view, sustainable results, perseverance, and investment. A very interesting card to be drawn, for sure.
I literally thought you were about to say this session's sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
It isn't, though?
I mean, I haven't said that it's not.
There's your
True.
card.
Yes. So, with that being said, as you all stand within the room, looking down at these bodies within, what do y'all do?
Um, Wonder why the hell I'm sleeping in a fucking coffin. First of all,
A good thing to wonder about, I'm sure.
does the does my I know you said like they're almost exact replicas. Like if we took a nap in the fucking thing,
Oh no, they are identical. Like, down, straight up down to the outfits you are currently wearing.
but do they have my brand thing that my new brand that I just got?
Make an investigation check. I know you're just looking at the hand, but I want you to roll anyway.
Sure.
Because who knows, maybe you'll find something new.
She is taking forever to load.
17. Looking the body over, you do find the brand.
Okay.
However, aside from that, there are no discernible differences between you and this body. The body is also physical because you can touch it.
Hmm.
Oh,
I am very uncomfortable with the energy we've created in this room today.
Same.
I'm confuzzled. What do you mean?
What?
You said you're uncomfortable with the energy we've created in this room today. What do you mean? I am confuzzled.
There's a lot of our bodies in front of us?
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's fair.
I'm sorry, I'm making Star a meme, okay? But she's uncomfortable with the energy in this room of dead bodies that we know.
Oh, I didn't realize that was in character. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
So, don't all jump at once. Kryn, also, if you're talking, you might be muted. Just so you know.
I was not talking.
Oh, okay.
My headset had given out for a second. I had to log out
Hmm.
and log back into Discord.
Gotcha. Okay, but no, seriously, what are y'all doing?
I don't know
I'm
what
not.
to do.
Well, I mean,
Kind of just
I don't-
all. I mean, we're just dumbfounded. I mean, what the? I mean,
So
what are we?
I will place my hand on my corpse's forehead.
Okay. You do so. There is no temperature. It's not hot, it's not warm, it's just there.
There's no energies in these corpses, right? Beyond at least the attachment that there was between Edwin and
You mean like magical?
a ethereal soul like.
Yeah, give me 1 second, my food just got here. Continue to talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
So actually, one thing I never asked is, I'm not even there. I kind of dragged my character in place just because I wasn't sure, but I'm not here. I did not follow you down.
Well,
I'm not even sure if you got around to actually unlocking the rest of the house, so I will just be MIA.
Yes. The only thing we've really found that's weird is this.
quite weird indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should go up and find him so he can join the conversations. You know
Yeah.
how to lock this place up.
Do we though?
Put out the fires.
I don't know if we can.
I'm back.
We pour water down the well. We put fire down there first to light it. So if we pour water, shouldn't it technically go out?
I mean, trying to
Possibly.
fill a well seems like a backwards thing, but hey, you do you.
We dropped fire in it and lit the
Braziers.
bras.
Yeah, the bras.
By the way, well, I mean, I am currently not down there with them. I just realized since I don't think I was still given access to the rest of the house, so I'm probably just going to be.
It's actually up to
relaxing.
them if you're able to be down there. There is no special barrier on that.
Oh no, but he means character-wise. We kind of left him behind.
Oh, okay. I mean, if,
Yeah,
again,
'cause
if
he
y'all
wasn't
have,
here last week, yeah.
yeah, well, if y'all would have wanted to have him, like, to bring him with y'all, you could.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't see why we wouldn't have.
Yeah, so come join us. Get your
Yeah.
butt down here. Be down, huh? You are down.
You know, maybe in character they were bouncing ideas off of him as a big, cavern wall.
Yeah, and it could also just be that, like, all of this is very new to him, and he's just kind of trying to take it all in and figure out what exactly is happening and all that. So for the most part, he's probably just been really deep in thought and just kind of observing what's happening. So.
Seeing identical copies of people I'm currently traveling with is a little bit of a jarring thing, but
Yeah,
Now, if I remember correctly, Astoria, you want to see if they had any magic lingering on them, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. With a quick cast of Detect Magic, they are magical. Let me look up Detect Magic real quick for 5th edition.
I need to get into roll. Sorry.
If I remember correctly,
You do.
you
yes.
get some basic information at first, but if you concentrate on it, you can usually tell the school type
Yeah,
that comes
so-
from.
So, for the duration, you can sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. There's magic coming from the sarcophagi itself, from the lids of the sarcophagi, from all 4 of the tombstones, from the knight, from the 14...
On the sides.
Yeah, from the 14 on the sides. Oh, that's not what I meant to...
I'm like, well, what? No.
No, I meant to do the riddle, sorry. Yeah, I mean, you would just have to take a few steps back in order to be able to sense these. So it's easy enough to do. Basically, all of everything in here all has its own magical aura, like the lids and then the coffins themselves. They're not both enchanted with one spell. They're both individually enchanted. As well as the tablet that had the riddle on it. Using your action, you can use your action to see faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic and learn its school, if any. So knowing that, what do you want to focus on first? Star?
Sorry, my mic was up and my brain died.
I was about to say, I think your mic might be muted.
So what were you asking?
So you can use your action with Detect Magic to begin learning the school of any auras that you see. So each lid has a magic aura, each sarcophagus itself has a magic aura, and all of the corpses have magic auras, as well as the tablets and pretty much every object in this room is emitting a magical aura.
Alright, I will take time. I'll start with our groups one, so I'll go one by one.
Okay.
So mainly I'll start just with like the 3 here.
Okay. For those, the School of Magic is Necromancy. Which, just as a reminder, is not necessarily evil. Because
Yeah, no, I know
resurrection
that.
spells are necromancy as well. So
Yeah.
I'm
bringing
gonna,
back
like,
the
if you
dead
guys want
to
to talk
life.
between yourselves, Star's just gonna, like, plop down and start focusing on that. Because I want to get more into it.
Jade would probably kind of wander into the room with everybody else, looking around, looking at the body that you've uncovered.
you do recognize a few of them, Shade.
Yeah, some of the people I've been adventuring with.
Well, you also notice it's not just them that are there. There's also the Elder Seed Seer. There is... Sorry, I'm trying to grab all these names.
Joyful Ginger.
There's Joyful Ginger. There's Nanamo, who is the Sultana. There's Merle
Webb.
That the leader of the Maelstrom.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are 11 more that you don't recognize. No, sorry, 12. Because Shade has not met Fumis yet.
I'm probably gonna regret doing this. I'm gonna walk over to the cast that has Joyful Ginger in it and open it up.
Oh, they're already all
Well, it's
open.
opened up already.
Yeah, they're all already open. That's
They're
why you
all,
can.
all
Yeah, that's why you can see which body is inside.
Okay, my apologies.
And
And you said the
it's
bodies are not cold or warm; they're just kind of room
yeah,
temperature ambient.
no, there is no temperature at all. Like you touch them and you don't feel anything other than the body itself. It's very strange. I don't really
Um,
know how to describe it because, like, how do you describe no temperature at all? I don't know. But
um,
it's basically like it's almost like you can't feel temperature on them. If that makes more sense.
I know that I kind of get the gist. I'm going to probably regret this. I'm going to use my dagger and prick the finger of Joyful Ginger, just very lightly. I want to see if it bleeds.
Okay. You poke it and it doesn't pierce.
Oh. Return the hand down. Some sort of strange and very powerful protective magics are on these cadavers, I'd say. But why is this down below the space that Joyful Ginger literally just made you all?
Oh,
That's
another
a peculiar part.
as another note, you did bring Joyful Ginger down here, and she said she did not know where this place came from. She did
It
not
was
make
just
it.
I bet seeing
They
herself was a
give
little bit of
off
a shock.
necromantic vibes. Well, that's what the magic in the Aether is telling me.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I mean, if it gave off anything other than that, I'd be more curious about sarcophagi. Uh, looking around, really quickly looking at my character sheet. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I know there's something here I can use. Click play.
Is there anything else I'm going to learn from these bodies from focusing on the magic?
All of the bodies themselves emit a necromantic aura.
That's it. Okay.
Can we try to identify what spell is causing them to be preserved like this?
If you cast identify, I don't know if any of you have identify. You might. I'm just not aware.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay. Casting identify on the bodies, you learn that the spell that is affecting them is gentle repose.
So it's literally just
Yeah.
keeping them in their current state.
Yep.
Do you
Seems
think
like it.
they're like this here in case something happens to us?
In their current condition, it looks like something already happened to us.
But I mean, it didn't. We're standing right here. We're living proof that at least four of these bodies, Ginger included, is just fine. That should be in here. Doesn't make much of a difference.
I am going to check my body to see if it's just she has what she has.
Uh,
Actually, great question. Does she have a Hattie, even?
Looking in, she does not.
Well, I'm gonna check her if anything else is different, because that's different.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check. Looking through and kind of as you begin sort of patting her down and searching her, you do find, or you do notice that there are no pockets on for this corpse, and you do not find any other items that you would have on you other than your star globe.
Mm.
Wait, I got a 17 and was told that it was exactly the same.
Right, but you were searching yours.
I guess that's true.
If you want to try and search this one or help Star search this one, you can do that.
Please. Get your hands in here and touch my dirty corpse.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Well, I guess she already rolled, so I don't have advantage, right?
Correct.
Well, I can assist one of the more investigation, one of the better people with investigation.
How about I investigate my body?
There you go.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll help you look through yours.
All right, so
That
roll
will
with
give me
advantage. Yep. Ooh, very
There you go.
nice. So, as you begin to sift through this one, the first thing you notice is that all of your equipment, that is everything you are wearing, Kryn, is present within this tomb. However, something just feels off about it, and you're not entirely sure why. But as Aedwin comes over to begin sort of assisting you, you go to try and like turn the body itself so that way you can see what's underneath it, and the body itself won't move. Like you grab it and you pull, and it just will not move.
Is the Aether converter on the body accessible?
Yes.
Check the Aether converter.
Okay. Looking at that, it is non-functioning. It does appear to be an actual Aether converter, but it does not appear to work.
Yeah, appearances can be deceiving. Repair the Aether converter. Perform a maintenance check. Open it up. Check all of it for maintenance work.
Yeah, go ahead and make a Tinker's Tool check.
Hold on a second.
I believe you have Tinker's Tools, right?
Yeah.
Machinist, you better have Tinker's tools.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like, pretty sure. This would be a straight roll, though. But it doesn't matter, because your first roll was a nat 20 anyway. Looking it over and performing some basic maintenance on it, the insides of it show extensive damage that you've never seen to an Aether converter before. Looking it over, it appears to have been in an extremely close proximity to some enormous explosion. But the outside of it is completely unscathed.
I look into it. What did you do, Kryn? How did you blow up your own Aether converter?
Shit. If I knew that, I wouldn't be in the casket right now. I would
You
avoid it
blew
like
it
the
up?
plague. I didn't blow it up. My future past me blew it up.
Future past.
Wait,
What is it?
so
What is this? Like the Christmas story? Ghost of Christmas Past? Ether converter of the future?
I'm gonna check Aidwin's then and see if there's anything different.
Make an investigation check.
Yeah.
That's intimidation.
Fucking-
Oh.
Oh, that is
Jesus Christ,
intimidation.
y'all.
Ooh.
You fucking dead
Uh,
body.
I'm
Uh,
I'm wiping my forehead because I was.
Can I say that I am looking specifically for?
Well,
I'm not just
here's
looking
the
over.
thing.
I'm looking specifically for damage or.
Here's the thing. Both modifiers are exactly the same. So I'm going to take back my forehead wipe and give you that nat 20.
Woo.
Because
That's
being
very
that the
kind.
modifier would not change, the result would not have changed in any way. So, as
Sick.
you
Now we can actually learn what's wrong
Tell
with
me
it.
how she killed
Yeah.
herself.
as you look her over and begin sort of searching the body, do you try to remove the clothes?
Yeah, I'm blind.
Okay.
There's nothing here for me but lines.
True. So pulling the
I'm sorry, I'm stripping you.
so pulling the clothes aside and sort of running your hands over the body, you can feel some pretty extensive wounds on the body. It's make an intelligence check for me.
Okay, straight intelligence.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, sorry. Actually, this would be a medicine check.
Oh, yeah, we can just do that.
Thinking about it, it would be a medicine. So as your hand runs over the wounds and you begin thinking about sort of how they're shaped and everything, you begin to it feels like a burn mark, but no, it feels like a wound that was instantaneously cauterized by a sword. Like a sword wound that was instantaneously cauterized.
Oh,
And they're like all over her chest. And yes, anyone who looks in, you do see them.
guys, check this out.
Oh,
I
what the
obviously
hell
didn't do it.
happened?
I'm on the same side as Aidwin in this discussion that was in this hot room.
So, DM,
He's blind.
Yes,
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Make sure you don't identify it as one of our 3 questions.
That's
True.
true. That's true.
It doesn't need to be one of our 3 questions because it's specifically to do with my gunblade.
Okay.
What do the wounds look like?
But you are clarifying that it is not one of the 3 questions?
It
Yes.
doesn't need to be
Okay.
because I would recognize wounds from my gunblade.
Right. Go ahead and make a medicine check with advantage. Because they are slashing wounds, so you are extremely familiar with them.
Medicine with advantageroo.
A 16.
I really
Wow.
needed that.
Yeah, so looking them over and sort of feeling them for yourself, they do seem almost identical.
Oh, that's weird.
Hmm?
I can't confirm who put them on your body, but I can verify that they look very strangely and feel very strangely similar to, well, unfolds her gunblade. Wounds from this.
Or at the very least, a weapon just like it.
You don't understand. This is a one-of-a-kind weapon. There is no weapon like this. This
So-
is the one that put those wounds there. Maybe not by my hand, obviously, but
Hmm.
We don't know
Somebody
how
check
long.
mine.
I will
Yeah.
go up and I will check hers.
Make an investigation
I
check.
don't have. There you go. Good.
With advantage because Adwin said she was was also going to do it. So, or
Yeah.
you two can roll separately. It's up to you.
I mean,
My
will-
int is bad, so I might as
Fair
well
enough.
just give it to Kryn.
My
Fair enough.
investigation is an 18.
Yeah, sometimes Kryn, when I look at your bonuses, I'm just like, he knows that we're not playing in his campaign, right?
Dude, I don't even know how this character sheet works. I went and I clicked expertise on it, and my score just went boom.
Yeah, well, expertise gives you your proficiency bonus twice.
Right, but I took
So-
expertise.
Yeah, well, that
So
exactly.
investigation.
So when you get expertise, you get your proficiency bonus, which I think at this point is a +6. You get
6,
that
yeah.
twice, so you get a +12 just from your proficiency, because your expertise is essentially like this is something you've dedicated your life to, right?
Hmm.
unless you're a rogue.
Yeah, unless you're a rogue, in which case you just get expertise to everything because you're a fucking rogue.
Or a bard.
But a 31 is still really fucking high. So, I will ask you the same question. Do you remove her clothes?
It's
Yes, but I'll be careful in a way
Take
to
a-
do it so as not to expose her to any of them, to the only male in the party.
She is only wearing a robe.
I will walk away. I will be polite.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna walk just kind of over here, and I'm gonna actually start doing something.
Okay. So,
And I'm gonna DM you about it. So
gotcha. So, as you pull the robe up and begin to examine the body, you can see multiple small holes that go up her legs and like almost center into her torso, where there's just like an enormous like surplus of these small little holes. And then on her arms, you can also see multiple small holes going all the way down them.
What are these holes?
I recognize the kind of damage done
Well,
from my experiences with explosives and bullets.
given that there's not really a whole lot of things that can make small holes into a body at this magnitude, I'm not even going to have you roll. These are bullet wounds.
Yeah, that's what I was going for, that or the grenade, the little fragments it throws off. But okay, bullet holes. Okay. I dress her and then address Astaria and let her know that this body was shot by bullets, by a gun.
Oh,
What about your body, Star?
That was Star's body.
That was
me.
Star's body.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Kryn's body.
No. You have not stripped Kryn yet.
No, I was going to go there next. But I dress Star up before I walk away because she's the bashful kind. And I'll go back to
Wow.
mine and do a full inspection of mine. I always imagined Star as bashful. Sorry. Or shy.
You're very much so correct. She's just surprised by being shot.
Interesting. Shade, which god do you worship?
Well, I worship a god of nature, like the spirits of the 12 would. So, like,
Who
I don't
is?
like.
Well, no. I understand. Who is the prime deity of the 12's wood? Like who do they usually worship? I know there's a
I
primary deity for them. I just don't remember which one.
yeah, I don't remember.
The closest thing I think would be like potentially primal, but they don't really
Um,
talk about worshiping primals. They talk about the spirit as just a whole. I don't think I've ever heard mention of any one god.
yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. The spell itself specifically states god or a god's servants. So I need to know which one you're contacting so that way I can figure out which servant or the god themselves that actually responds, right? Give me 1 second. While I look
Second that.
this, yeah, okay. Well, while I look this up, I'm going to continue with the rest. But I'm gonna look this up, and once I find which one,
Okay.
we'll get to you.
Yeah, just let me know.
Can
Can
also
I do
take a
an
short break.
Can I do an
Yeah,
investigation on my body?
yeah. Go ahead, do the investigation.
Yeah, go ahead. I got you.
And Star, you said you wanted to take a short break.
I said we could if you need to look something up.
No. It's fine because I can look this up in the background while y'all do that. So, uh, another. Corinne, do you know how to roll below 30?
No.
Just out of curiosity. Like,
Oh, so technically that 32, I only rolled a 14.
again, do you know how to roll under a 30? Because you've not rolled under a 30 this session so far. Um, jeez. Uh, so as you begin stripping yourself and looking through it, you notice that you yourself have even multiple holes in your chest, but they're much smaller than a bullet wound.
Hmm.
Would I be able to discern what kind of damage did cause it?
Make a
With my,
medicine check.
oh, this is going to be bad. Oops,
A
I don't
third,
get advantage on that one.
yeah, an 8. You have no idea.
Yeah. I forgot to turn off advantage. Star, can you check out what caused these injuries?
Of course.
Yeah, go ahead and make a medicine check, Star. A
We all have our
25.
different specialties.
Yeah, true.
Yes, we do.
As you begin to look this body over and feel at the wounds, they are extremely small, or they were made by an extremely small pointed object.
Edwin's just gonna kind of. I guess when you say that, actually.
Small pointed object.
Edwin's just gonna kind of pat her side like a rapier.
Like a rapier DM?
Could be.
It's possible, but how many marks are there?
Uh, about going off a rough guesstimate, as you sort of feel over the body, at least 20, maybe more.
Hmm.
If you want to take a moment to actually count how many, I'll give you the exact
Yes.
number. Okay. You count 53 stab wounds.
At least I went down without.
Right.
I resisted. I went down with a fight.
Yeah, it seems like it. And they're pretty. It's erratic. It's like a fight happened, is what I'm guessing, huh?
Yeah. They are definitely like combat wounds.
Okay.
Well, I am not here to desecrate a body, so I will dress myself back up again.
Okay.
The equipment is laid out inside
Correct.
the casket. Take my equipment off of me, except for what is being worn by the body, and place it in the casket in the same positions as the equipment is laid out in the casket.
So you're trying to pull the stuff out of the casket and then replace it with yours?
Just put it next to it.
Okay, so you're just trying to take yours and put it in the casket.
Yes.
Okay.
So like the Aether converter, which is actually worn on my back, and
Yeah. So yeah, taking them off,
Yeah,
you
my-
can put them in there. No problem.
okay.
Just gonna try to discern any differences.
Yeah, I want to do an enclosed look at all the equipment to compare the differences. Like the rifle, is it the exact same rifle that I have?
Go ahead and make an investigation check. This would be straight because this is something that only you and the party would, or out of the party, you're the only one that has any kind of real knowledge about these things. So you would not be able to get assisted. However, you are the only one in the party that knows about these kind of things. So as you sort of go over the investigation of them, on the outside, they seem exactly identical. You do notice that as you're doing this and now going over the rifle itself as well as the small Glock, the insides of them also look the exact same as with the Aether converter. It looks like there was just a massive explosion, but the outsides are completely unscathed.
Is my body posed in any particular way inside the coffin? Hands over chest, hands on side.
It's just hands straight down, just hands at the side. That's how all of them are.
Oh dear God. I want to do something, but I don't want to do something.
Do it.
What?
I was thinking, since my equipment is laid out with it, what if I laid myself out in the casket, duplicating that appearance without removing the body? Is the point, though, because the body can't be removed. We've already tried lifting it up. That's
I
you
wouldn't want to climb in. I wouldn't want to climb in a casket with that.
with
that
another
seems-
body that's already being used.
Yeah, that seems a little.
As a reminder, it was not just the bodies emitting a magic aura. The coffins themselves that they're resting in were emitting one, and the lids were emitting one, as well as the tablet and the 4 tombstones in the armor.
So is the lid laying on the ground now, or is it just hinged open?
That would be up to y'all, because y'all are the ones that opened them. So if you wanted to shove them all the way open, you could do that.
Well, I'm just curious because
Again, that's up to you. If y'all want to have completely opened them, sure. If you want to have just slid a little bit, you could.
newer day caskets are modern day caskets are hinged. So I didn't know if it was on a hinge or
No. These are all made of stone. Like they're the lids themselves and the sarcophagus or the coffin itself are completely separate objects. That's why I was saying that each of them are enchanted separately.
At this point, I'm going to pick up all my stuff, not the copy stuff, because their stuff's broken, and ask, oh my God, I'm having a bad time today with Velvy if she can close the casket all the way.
Can certainly try.
So it's sealed again. This is just a temporary.
Yeah.
I want to experiment with something.
Make a strength check for me, Velvy.
I presume she's the one who opened them because I don't have a strength to do it.
Yeah. So yeah, it takes you a moment. It takes you, I would say, probably about maybe 30 to 40 seconds, but you do manage to get the lid pulled back up and shoved over it and closed.
I will lay my stuff on the top of the casket, identical as the way it was placed inside.
Okay.
And then I will lay on top of the sarcophagus with my hands at my side.
Okay.
Head at the head point, feet at the feet point.
Alright.
Identical to the way the body was laying inside.
Alright.
Does it do anything?
Nope.
Okay. Pick my stuff back up and let Velby know she can open it again. So if we have any other checks, we can stuff to examine on the bodies. We can. I was just experimenting.
I wonder what's
Mhm.
in those other coffins.
All of them are open, aren't they? That's
We
how
never
we.
ones
opened
on
the
the
ones on the
sides.
side.
Yeah, you never
Oh, the ones
opened.
on the sides.
Yeah, you never opened the ones on the sides.
I mean,
Guess we could check.
we probably should. That would be useful information. I'll
Knock
get to
on it, see if
opening.
anybody's home.
So, real quick,
I'll get to opening them.
before I do that, Shade, I'm gonna drag you away.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Boy.
Stolen.
So I figured out who it is that you contact.
Alrighty.
And so, divination. You can ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. What is your question?
My question is, are the injuries and bodies we see before us now a result of something that will happen in the near future?
You said if they will have consequences in the near future?
No, I'm asking, like, we're seeing these bodies. You know, apparently we're assuming, you know, their bodies, not mine.
Oh, so you're asking if whatever caused this will happen within 7 days?
Yes.
Okay.
Since I only have a 7-day period, I don't have a lot to work with.
Right. What you get back is it is not 7 days that it will happen in. However, the current course that you are expected or sort of anticipated to take, should that continue, this is a likely outcome.
Okay. I wasn't expecting like a super clear answer or anything, but this did give me some information. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
You got a little bit, you know. Who knows what path or whatever the god is talking about.
Yeah. I know we have at least 7 days where we don't have to worry about shit, and after that we need to be on our toes.
Yeah, you know, assuming that
and he also confirmed this is a possible probable future, and so we actually need to be careful.
Yeah. You know, assuming y'all stay on this same course, whatever that is. All right.
Right now, we don't know what course we're doing.
Yeah, so who knows? Whatever it is.
Motherfucker.
Oh, I'm glad I moved you at that exact moment.
Okay.
God damn it.
He was saying motherfucker, and I moved him
Goddamn
right in the middle of it.
Yeah,
The all you get is just mother.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Perfectly
no,
cut screens.
Shade is gonna maybe not say motherfucker, but he's gonna say cut.
By the 12.
Yeah. That's absolutely what it would be. It would be by
By
the
the
12
By the
12.
12.
through your slightly gritted teeth.
You
Yeah.
you do hear this as you go over to
Phallic
begin
balls or
trying to
something, I
move
don't
the lids, Veldy.
What? God damn it!
Yeah,
By the 12.
yeah.
By the
He
12.
hears Shade make the exclamation.
You figured something out that we haven't.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I attempted to reach out to the gods to maybe get some information on what has happened here. And although I didn't get anything too clear, I have determined a couple of things.
what, like what?
The bodies here are not us as we are now, but us in the future, or you in the future.
Oh, that's
These are the results of a potential thing that will occur outside of 7 days in our future. I could not get any more exact of a reading than that. If we are to continue along whatever line that we are going right now, this is a likely outcome.
So I just have to avoid shooting Star. Adwin has to avoid stabbing me, and Velvy has to avoid slashing Adwin.
nope,
My
nope,
friend, if it was as simple as that, I think
Mm.
this would be too easy.
no, 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 no. She'll look right at you, Shade, and point at you. No, and she'll sit on the floor and start laying out a spread of cards.
I mean, I guess we could just hole ourselves up in the house for the next week and.
No,
So, situations like this don't they usually result in the more we try to avoid something, the more likely it is to happen?
Potentially, because we don't necessarily know what leads up to this exact occurrence. Anything that we could do or avoid trying to do could indeed end up doing exactly this.
So, then the most prudent course of action, at least in my mind, would seem to be continue on our way.
And just deal with what's going to happen when it occurs.
Correct. I don't like the thought of harming any of you, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say this did not happen in a situation that was just an everyday occurrence. Something bad happened. It had to have been bad.
Arnalder?
I cannot say for sure, but if he can exert control over you in some way, I wouldn't be surprised.
I would think that with my stupid new being Ifrit now, I would be resistant to that kind of thing.
Or it could have the exact opposite effect. I don't want to be overly negative about it, but either possibility is a reality, or could be a reality. The question is, where am I? And where's Shade?
You guys obviously lived through it.
We haven't opened all the caskets.
That's true.
As
Quite.
much as I hesitate to do so, maybe it would be prudent to do so now.
Well, that was always the case. We need to know who's where and why.
Shall we start with the ones on the left side first? And
Indeed.
okay, I guess at that point we're going to start working to removing the lids and setting them down on the ground beside each casket.
Indeed.
So real quick, Star, I did hear that you said you wanted to do that. So, As they begin to do that, what are you doing? Are you pulling
Oh,
your
she's sitting
card?
on the floor with her tarot cards. She's laying out a 3-pole spread.
All right.
For what possible events could lead to this.
All right. Let me pull up my astrologian thing, because I haven't had to pull this up in a while. So, give me a moment.
You guys keep talking.
Well, I've already got it pulled up. I just need to scroll down to where the cards are, because I need to know where each card actually is in the D6. So, three, a
Step
five,
away
and
for a
six.
moment.
Okay, and no.
Okay, so you pull. Ooh, these are interesting pulls. So the 3 you pull are the arrow, the spire, and the bull, which are respectively the 4th heaven, the 3rd heaven, and the 1st heaven, representing the elements wind, lightning, and earth. As you pull each of these and
They're so
set
close
them
to being
down,
funky.
I know, if only it was fire. But as you pull each of them down and you focus on the events and where they're leading and what exactly is happening in the moment, the 4th heaven, or the heaven of wind, created atop a lofty peak by Oshan the Wanderer, whose footsteps have been guided by the navigator. The spire is the 3rd heaven and is an iron tower of spinning gears and taut springs, constructed by the builder himself. It is assailed without crease by the jealous Ralger, but the destroyer's mighty 11 bolts only serve to power the spire's clockwork soul. And finally, the bull, the 1st heaven. This constellation is thought to be the gate to the 1st heaven, the heaven which holds the world tree, planted by the matron and nurtured by the keeper, the world. Or the world tree, is the source from which life is said to spring. And as you pull each of these and begin to make the connection between them, you get the feeling of correctness. Your path is not wrong. You are going towards your own future. You are establishing yourself. You do not get the sense that your path is the wrong one or that you should stray, but rather you should continue on it. And by continuing on it, you will not lose.
Huh. So just sit back and stare at the cards for a bit and kind of listen to everyone, see what they're doing.
All right. So the rest of you begin pulling each of these lids off of these smaller coffins. And inside of each one, all that is inside of them is a skeleton. Of varying sizes and shapes, but just a skeleton.
And these don't have any names on them, right?
Correct.
I guess these guys weren't important enough to get preserved.
Hmm. Well, it looks like your initial theory was right then, Kryn. It looks like whatever happens, these 2 survived.
And my out of character theory was right. At least to some extent.
What, that the other coffins are just fucking whatever.
No, that Velvy's probably not in them because of her ties to the Gunbreakers specifically.
Mm.
That is true. You can now confirm that Velvy and Shade are nowhere in this crypt. At least not visible. And you can tell.
Do I by chance know the name of the first or any of the first blades of Gunhildr? I only ask because I know my character. Velvy has read about Gunbreakers her entire life.
Yeah.
So
So.
Oh, shit.
Boop-a-doop-a-doo. I'm trying to see if I can actually find like any names for them so I know. Because, give me one sec. It does not appear that Yoshi P has given us actual names for them. But, that won't stop me. Go ahead and make a history check. And actually, because this is about Gunbreakers, I'll give you advantage.
nice. History.
You didn't need it.
I apparently did not. No, you are right.
Yeah, 23. So thinking back, the names of the first Gunbreakers, you don't know. However, of what you do know about the first Gunbreakers, or specifically about Gunhildr's blades, actually, because you were asking about that. You do know that the farther back in history, the more murky the Gunbreaker information gets, or rather, information about the Gunbreaker itself gets. For, I would say, about 2,000 to 3,000 years, there's just a gap where there's, from everything you've read, there's roughly a 2,000 to 3,000 year gap where there are apparently just no Gunbreakers at all. They just kind of vanish from history as though the last of them were just wiped out. And then that is when, after about 2,000 or 3,000 years, that's when the Gunbreakers begin to surface in history, but it's kind of sparse. It's like here and there, and mostly just kind of tangential information and a lot of kind of hearsay legends from like various villages and accounts that you've been told. Nothing necessarily super concrete, if that makes sense. However,
that does make sense.
However, for Gunhildr's blades themselves, you've heard a little bit about them, mostly tangential as well. But from what you know about Gunbreakers and the little bit of information that you've been able to glean, you're fairly confident that Gunbreakers likely served a vital role in protecting Gunhildr. If only you'd rolled higher, I'd still be talking.
Alrighty, well that gave me nothing I was looking for.
It's unfortunate, I know, but you know. You do now know that Gunbreakers likely served a vital role.
Yes.
Hmm.
So what about these other bodies? Do any of them have wounds on them?
Yeah,
Uh,
actually, that's a good question. Yeah, like if we, I say we investigate some of the gods.
Yeah. So, which one do you want to go to next? I'll ask that. Since you've now clearly expressed the desire to investigate all of them, I'll ask which do you start with?
Let's just go from the left and go to the right. So Azima first.
Oh, so yeah.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Let's see.
So you need me to roll an investigation,
Yeah.
and I presume I'm getting aid in investigation.
Yes.
So I get
Correct.
advantage.
I got you.
Again, you literally don't know how to roll below 30. You
I
rolled
did
a
Not on
earlier.
you rolled a
investigations, anyway.
31 and then a 36. You can even without advantage, you cannot, or with advantage, you literally.
You
Oh
did it
my
to
god.
yourself.
I did. I know I did.
I mean, that's a little bit like me and my,
Yeah. So, Lord. 36. As you look over this body, the wounds that you notice are not physical in nature. Unlike Astaria, yourself, and Adwin, who had very visibly physical wounds, this one seems to have wounds not made by a physical object. These wounds seem to be made either by some kind of magical construct or a spell or something of a magical nature.
Okay. So we
Furious
need
typing by Titus.
somebody who
Sorry.
has experience with magic to go ahead and check these types of wounds to see if they recognize them.
Oh, that'd be Star.
Yep, I heard my cue.
All right, Star. Oh, good. I'm glad you rolled Arcana because I need that and a medicine check.
All right.
All right. As you look these wounds over, you can confirm that they were made by a spell. These wounds seem to carry similar markings to like a burn, but at the same time, a lot of these wounds seem very necromantic in their origin. They seem to almost pull at the body and at whatever life force was in them when they sustained these wounds. But they do not appear to be any of the normal necromantic type spells that you might normally think about, like vampiric touch or blight, for example. They do not appear to be those kind of spells. You can't tell exactly what spell caused these, but even as powerful as you are, you're not entirely sure if even you could cause this level of damage to an individual.
That's scary. I'll relay this to the group.
Hmm.
Concerning for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I will say at this point, something you can all know is that When the clothing is over the body and you run your hand over it, you do not feel any kind of like deformations in it. Like no matter how hard you press your hand against the body, it's only when you remove the armor and look at the skin itself that you can, or begin to touch the skin itself, that you can feel any kind of deformation in the skin for these wounds.
So, like, the
So like we can only grope their. Oh, so we can only like grab at their chest and.
Watch your
be-
fragging words, bro.
I
Yes.
think it was a joke.
Yeah.
I'm
But-
just teasing back.
True.
But yes, essentially yes.
Okay. We have to. Go,
So giddy,
I mean, I
so
guess.
giddy. I'm coming for those hands.
I guess it's only fair that second base only counts when it's beneath the shirt.
That's true. That's true.
Wow.
Do you
I've
not
never been so
agree?
disappointed in you.
Do you not agree? Anyways.
That was
I'm not
relatively
making
tame.
Any comment? I know, I just wasn't expecting it. Carry on, I'm not here.
Okay, so who's next? Rosamunda or Ashan?
Ashan.
All right.
Dun, 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 dun.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. I'm loving it.
Oh
All right.
my
I'll
gosh,
throw
you
you.
go.
never do that
There's
again.
So,
There was a 29 in there.
Copyright.
you're right.
God.
Oh wait.
5 seconds. You get 5 seconds before they can
That's
do
true.
anything.
That's true.
So that
Um,
little jingle is not.
So something I just realized that I never actually finished was getting music playing.
Oh yeah.
You should totally do that.
No,
There
don't
it
turn
is.
loop off. Keep loop on.
Roop on.
All.
But
There
what
we
if it
go.
doesn't want to?
There we go. Well, it's doing it now. So.
Oh,
So. As you begin to look over the corpse, or the body rather, of Oshan, the Wanderer, you can see on his body are what at first looks like slashing wounds. Wounds caused by a blade of some kind. But as you take a closer look, these wounds were not created by a blade. They were created by wind.
Spontaneous and explosive ripping of asphalt.
Shade, go ahead. Actually, anyone trained in religion, make a religion check.
Talk about bad gas.
The really
She got
the
a-
problem
she got
is
0 to death by
I'm not.
Wario, and Wario killed it with a big fucking Wario waft.
yeah. So the problem is I'm not trained in religion.
Wait, what, really?
Yeah. No.
Is no one trained in religion? Oh, that's unfortunate.
Nope. Star? No.
Star is allowed to roll sometimes because she just reads a lot.
That's true.
Hmm.
That's true. You are
She had no life beyond chocobos and reading and farm.
You like to
That's-
talk about the power of religion?
May I try?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's a 5. Sorry, that shouldn't have been advantage.
No, it should be advantage.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is
Hattie.
intelligence.
Hattie. As you think, you don't know much about Oshan. Him being a deity and all, you didn't necessarily spend a ton of time reading up on him. However, you did read up a little bit on the gods, and of what you remember about Oshan is that he is known as the Wanderer, ruler of mountains and god of vagrants. He commands the element of wind and is associated with the third umbral moon, or the 6th month.
You will relay this all to everyone.
You'll have to forgive me. I'm not all that well versed in my religion. I don't know what that really tells us, other than who this person is.
Well, you know that his wounds were caused by what seems to be cuts from the wind.
I mean, that was in character, so.
Fair enough.
Well,
Sorry.
that's exactly it. This is a god, and that's kind of he died from wind. Wind, isn't that strange?
Yeah, that's his whole thing. From what you say.
I guess you're right that it is strange.
Surely he wouldn't have killed himself, would he?
No.
Can a caster even
mm.
direct their own destructive magic at themselves? Really?
Well,
I mean, an explosion is an explosion. If you're caught in a blast, chances are you aren't protected from it.
Well, I mean, fair enough, but
Fireball would hurt its caster if they cast it too close to themselves.
and they weren't me.
Flashbacks from me.
yes, Aidwin, we remember you're a friend.
I'm not bragging about it.
And yes, Star, we all remember the only time
Star
you
has
ever...
horrible flashbacks of the second time she's ever casted Fireball.
You mean the first time she ever cast
Nope,
it?
second time.
So,
No, second time it was on herself.
Oh, right. The second time was on her.
My Arcana isn't great, but can I roll an Arcana check because
Given
wind magic usually is typically associated with white magic, and I did have to train in both.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Actually, given that you would have almost been required to study Arcana at some point, even if you're not proficient in it, you understand the difference between white and black magic. You inherently know the difference. So, yes, I'll say go ahead and roll Arcana.
F.
With advantage.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say
Because,
better.
It is better.
Is there something I can assist with? You already rolled with advantage. Never mind.
Well, no, he gets advantage because of he would have had to have studied the difference between white and black magic, right? So that's why he gets advantage. However, you are a white mage.
I'm very familiar with white man, and I would know the difference between the two being polar opposites.
Yeah. You can both tell that these wounds were caused by white magic spells. Especially you, Shade. You can, without a doubt, confirm that it's white magic. 100%. However, given your innate knowledge of white magic, and assuming what Star says is true, you don't see any reason as to how or why Oshan, a god who commands wind, would ever be subjected to wounds from the wind.
Peculiar and odd.
So weird.
Let's check the others.
Yeah.
Let's go into the next one. Khan E. Sinna. Go ahead and make an investigation.
Oh yeah, I guess we should just check the. I guess we should really just go through and check everything.
You said left to right. You
Yeah.
said left to right, so I assume since you're already there, you're like, well, I mean, we're here.
Might as well
So-
gather all the information, yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'll
Okay.
be
No
right back. I'm gonna grab some dinner real fast.
yep, no problem. Actually, before I get to this, we'll take a break on that.
Okay.
So, we'll come back in about 5 to 10 minutes.
He wrote down the whole crowd goes spaghetti.
Loud, yeah, no, go spaghetti. I thought we were really going for it. Like,
I'm glad I
I'm
got.
trying to quote the if anybody here saw the Unis Honest shit when they
I
did the
literally
going over-
only heard about Unis Honest right when it was ending, and I'm like, oh,
Oh, that's
and
really
it's
bad,
ending
bro.
now. Okay.
They
Bye,
had
I guess.
They had an episode where they near the end where they went over every episode in one sentence. And the one sentence for one of them from Ethan was knees weak, arms heavy, mom spaghetti, nervous.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say I'm glad I caught the
Killed me.
ending of that entire bit on video.
Yes.
Oh god.
I think.
Nervous. Go hide in my Unis Honest hoodie now. Fuck.
The first time I saw the title of the channel, I was like, Unis Anus? What?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I have an Unis
What?
Honest. I bought the flag they made. And I put it in the background of my art room, so when I'm in class, people see it, and they'll message me, and I know they're one of the Udas Honestes. Though I was sitting in call with my teacher because I got taken to a breakout room to get help, and she said, "Okay, I really need to ask, and I'm really sorry. Does your flag say Unis Anus?" I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
ma'am. No, it says Unis Honest."
All right.
Whenever I eventually move into a place, I really want to buy like a big wall, like a big flag. I want to buy like a big straw hat flag,
Yeah. So
just because you know.
now that we're back, hello. You had just opened up the other 14 sarcophaguses, or coffins rather. You learned a little bit more information about what Azima and Oshan's wounds were. And we're just about to investigate Khan-e Senna, the Elder Seedseer. As you begin to strip her and sort of look over any wounds that might be on her, there are no visible wounds on her body. However, as you look her over, one thing you do notice is that from her ears is like this line of blood that's like it's all dried. It's long dried, but it's coming down from her ears and like down towards her cheeks, and then seems to just kind of like taper off, like it was falling off of her cheeks.
Sound damage. Or mental.
I'll say Aedwin and Star make Arcana checks, because you two are the black magic casters of the group.
Star's the white magic.
She is, but she does have a few spells that overlap with the black mage. It's not many,
Fair
I
enough.
don't think, but
Fair enough.
yeah. So as you look at the wounds and or look at the blood and the way it's moving and
We see
sort
the
of
spell scars.
you, from the looks of it, it does seem similar to a spell scar. The wounds that appear on... From what you can tell, it seems like the damage she sustained was not... It was not necessarily, like, in her head. It wasn't necessarily psychic damage that she took. But it does not seem like... And you can, based off of just the wounds, you can confirm that it was a spell that did this. But it does not appear to be psychic damage based. It does not appear to be mentally based.
Hmm.
Oh. Can I work on possibly, I guess, trying to identify what kind of spell could have been?
Yeah. I'll say...
I mean, what my is that just what my 19 got? Was
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it?
Yeah, that's it. I'll say this. Astoria, what level do you cast Identify at?
6.
6th level, okay. As you use a much larger portion of your arcane powers to try and almost force the identity of whatever created this wound to fruition, you do get that the spell used, give me 1 second. Let me make sure I get all this correct. Otherwise, y'all will kill me. Okay, so you get this. The School of Magic was evocation. It was caused by some extraordinary burst of sound. To the point where it likely completely ruptured her ears. And a 13 is actually high enough to identify the spell. It seems like the spell used was a spell called Sound Burst, but it seemed far more powerful than it should have been.
Maybe they upcast it or something, or...
Still relay this to everyone.
What level is that spell normally?
Sound Burst is normally a 3rd level spell. So, admittedly, still relatively powerful, but nowhere near powerful enough to cause the damage that Con Isena has sustained.
Yeah.
That's cast at a 9th level. Ugh.
Breaking the eardrums.
That break into everything.
Scary.
Sound waves at sufficient magnitude can rupture parts of the body, not just the eardrums. Lungs can be caused to collapse. All sorts of nasty things. That was from a player perspective as well as a character who's medically trained.
True.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but that's very true. assuming that it was cast at 9th level, this spell would have caused a lot of internal damage. But you'd have to likely, cut into the corpse to find out if it did sustain any internal damage.
I am not up to desecrating these graves.
Yeah.
We're not desecrating if we return them to how they were.
Well, once you cut them open, you can't return them to how they were.
What do you think autopsies do? They sew them back up.
Who said anything about us cutting them open anyway?
Yeah, also, where did we get the idea of cutting them open?
It was said we wouldn't be able to determine any more without cutting them open.
Well,
None of us know how to do that.
if you could X-ray into the corpse, that would also work, I suppose, technically. Essentially, the only way to see if there's internal damage is to be able to see the internals.
You never... I don't think we ever got to the nitty-gritty. Is there any semblance of soul or aether energy left in them?
No. There does not seem to be... Aside from the Gentle Repose spell on the corpse, there does not seem to be anything else lingering in or around the corpse itself, specifically.
Okay. Well, there isn't anything in there.
Also, might I add, I've already attempted to see if these corpses bled, and I was unable to cut into the body. It's quite likely we would have to remove the Gentle Repose spell from the cadavers before attempting such a thing, and I do not know what will happen to a body that's been around for a long period of time upon removal of the said spell. It could accelerate decomposition to the point where we get no useful information.
I don't know how that... I don't think I want to do that.
There's also the fact of they were put like this for a reason, I would assume.
This place does have a feeling of a mausoleum.
Mausoleum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
English, it's hard, yo.
I'm just having my brain.
Words are hard.
Yeah,
Words
salad.
are hard.
Word salad, yummy, yummy. I'm sorry.
But it feels like the bodies were interned here in a place of respect, and someone had to put them here and care enough about them to do so in a way that showed respect, and that we were known well enough that this was to occur. Whether it's because I myself and there were survivors who did this, or something else.
But the big question is, why? Why did any of this happen? I fear we're not going to get an answer.
Remind me what my card reading was earlier.
So your card reading was that it feels like the path you are going on was correct. You were on the right path, and should you follow that path, it will lead to success. But that's about as much as you were really able to glean, is that you are on the right path. You are doing the correct thing. And that should you continue to do it, it will lead to the success of you. It will lead to the success of your goal.
I will relay this as the reading she took to the group.
So it's just to scare us then?
Perhaps.
A warning at the very least. Although we have yet to determine who might have tried to give us this warning.
Yeah. It seems whoever has this in mind is implying that some gods will fall because of it too.
Well, not so much implying as demonstrating.
There's only a couple beings that we know of that are strong enough to probably kill gods, and that's... She's kind of gonna eye Fumiri's coffin, and then there's just like, I mean, between Fumi, Arnalder, and the Worrell, those are about as strong of beings as we all know.
Well, I would also not put. I would also bring up the fact that, at the very least, you yourself, along with everybody here, has put up a fairly reasonable offense against such powerful beings. So that list is not quite as short as you once originally thought.
It's a good point, I guess.
And I dare say if more preparation had been able to take place, I'm sure that battle would have come out considerably different. But that is mere idle thought. No.
What worries me is that we don't know who did this. And Ginger doesn't know who did this.
Agreed.
So do you continue next with the next coffin?
Yeah.
Alright.
So that's Fumi.
Indeed, it is. No investigation check is required. Looking over her body, you can see multiple wounds from varying sources. From small points to slightly larger to full-on slashes to all manners of arcane spells and divine spells. Her wounds are, from what you can tell, every possible source of damage. Her entire body, from everything you can see, is covered in these various wounds. She does not seem to have taken damage from any one source, as the killing blow, as many of the others that you have found. Instead, she seems to have taken damage from every possible damage source. You can see blood dripping from her ears, from her eyes, her nose, her mouth. You can see slash marks and piercing marks, and even slightly concaved parts of her body from bludgeoning damage. You can see scorch marks from both fire and lightning type damage. Essentially, every possible damage source was applied to her in order to kill her.
Looks like she was a bitch to take down. Do I notice any wounds from my gunblade?
That does require an investigation check.
Okay. Advantage or no?
Again, given that it's your own gun blade that you're looking for, I'll say advantage.
33.
You didn't need it. You didn't need it. You...
I mean,
You pulled one from Kryn and just rolled above 30, because why not? Sure.
I mean, to be fair, my modifier for investigation is almost as good as Cran's.
This is very true. This is very true. But again, you're... So, looking it over, there do seem to be wounds that are similar to Aeduin's, and even similar to the ones that Alnalder sustained. They're at the very end from your gunblade. It's hard to say if all of the slashing wounds were caused by the same weapon, but it does seem, at the very least, that some of them, at the very least, were caused by a weapon very similar to yours. If not identical.
I'm just stepping away, I'll be back.
Yep.
That is quite odd.
Oops. I removed it from my bar.
Oh, don't do that. Then you can't cast it anymore because it's not prepared.
Yeah.
Anything else y'all wish to do, or are you going to move on to Joyful Ginger?
Well, let's move to Ginger.
Alright. Go ahead and roll
My
me in.
investigation check.
Yeah. Go ahead, whoever is investigating Ginger's body, go ahead and make it with advantage.
Yeah. Since I was looking at her body earlier.
Kryn, at this point, I'm tempted to just make it so that you can't roll below a 30 on investigation. Honestly. Because, you just don't roll below a 30 when you need to. It's... Anyways. Going over to Ginger's body... It's a almost extreme example of someone who just died. There are, even removing her clothes, there are no visible signs of damage at all. There's no blood coming from her ears, from her eyes, or nose, or even her mouth. It's... Her body just appears to have just died of natural causes.
Or another potential thing. There are spells that can kill without leaving a single mark on the body. For example, power word death. You don't lose hit points. You are not brought to 0. You just die. There is no... this is a... Do not pass go. Do not collect your $200. You just fall over.
Do not pass go. Do not recover hit points. You die.
Yeah, no, you go from 0, you go from full hit points to your soul's gone.
Do any of us know that spell?
I'm
Knowing of that spell as someone who does, resurrection magics.
Not knowing of that spell, I'm just curious if it's one of us that did it.
I
could have
don't
done it.
think I don't personally have the spell.
What spell?
As a note, for 5th edition, it is called Power Word Kill. Not
There's
Power
also
Word
Finger
Death.
of There is Finger of Death though.
True. There is Finger of Death, and that is a for base D&D, that's a druidic type spell, although it is still a divine spell.
There's a
Mhm.
lot of classes that get that spell, actually.
Right, but for the purposes of the campaign, the classes y'all are restricted to are the ones from the SRD.
I was just curious if it was a possibility to have been cast by one of us. That's all.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't think Star or I have
Power
Power
Word
Word Kill on our.
Power Word Kill is not in the SRD. So it is not available to anyone by standard. Yep.
Okay.
By raw, it is technically not possible to cast the spell Power Word Kill. But there are other power words that are in the SRD.
Yeah,
Just as
I mean I know I have Power Word like Heal, I think, in my spell list. Okay, so literally none of us would know, even if it was Power Word Kill, we would literally not know it was that because it's almost impossible to cast it.
Give me one sec. So here's the fun fact. So you, Adwin, know of sorry, I'm trying to make sure I get this correct. One sec. Yeah, so Adwin, you know the spell Power Word Heal. And I would argue that being that you know of the Power Word Heal spell, let me just look it up real quick so I know exactly what the wording of it is. Yeah, so you yourself know the spell Power Word Heal. And you know that it restores all hit points and removes certain conditions from the creatures. You also know, all of you, I would easily argue, know that it's entirely possible to make spells, and especially you, Astaria, who have made your own unique spell. It's possible to make new spells, so it's not necessarily unheard of to modify existing spells for other purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Power Word Heal, Power Word Harm.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
For 5th edition, it would be Power Word Harm in 5th edition is considered or is renamed to Power Word Pain. Just so that we're all clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I suppose it could be a spell too, but let's hope it's let's just hope that it is not quite as bad as the rest of them, and hope it is just something a little more normal.
We can hope, but given what we've already seen, well, I hope.
know.
I have a thought, although it is something that I do not think we should do. We have the bodies of these versions of ourself fully intact and everything. I do have access to magic that would allow us to return one of them to life, and we could ask.
I also do. That seems. Huh.
But that could also lead to complication. To the same person in the same timeline. What would we do after that? You can't return a living person to a casket.
Oh my god.
What?
This is where the duplicate Aedwin came from. We resurrected her.
Oh my god.
You did.
Not me.
Not we.
I can't resurrect.
I blame you.
But
Okay,
she was
but wasn't it
resurrected
through the
and went
cane?
back in time.
Back in time.
I don't know where she came from. All I know is we've run into Aedwin before. We've also run into other duplicates. Before.
Gabusa, yes. The Red Mage.
We've also created a duplicate.
Yes. But what if we res this one and then she just went back in time? And that's where she came from, and it wasn't actually you, but you.
Time travel's so confusing.
Indeed.
Some of us have encountered ourselves already. So I don't think there's going to be much of an issue of having two of us in the same time period at the same time.
I don't know.
There's also a duplicate Delger going around because he got killed and his picture got spread around as being dead, and his parents thought he died.
That's true. I remember that.
There was. He's dead. The duplicate's dead now.
As a reminder, you also remember that you learned the body that was quote unquote found was that of a doppelganger, specifically intimidated to make himself look like Delger and then killed to make it seem like Delger was dead for some reason.
Well, I didn't remember that part.
Yeah, well, that's why I said. That's why I said it. Just to remind everyone, is that's sort of why.
Yeah.
Also starts swapping computers, so.
Mm-hmm.
Computers.
But because we've ran the Aedwin, at least that is present here, has run into herself in the past. I don't think it would cause any specific paradox for her to do it again.
I don't know.
Oh, Jericho, leave it.
That seems like a bad idea.
Everything seems like a bad idea until you do it.
And then it seems like a worse idea.
Now I got that video going through my head, gonna do some sketchy shit.
Yeah, that's all y'all are doing right now, let's be real.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Okay.
I don't think it would be a problem to resurrect one of them.
So out of
Can I,
character.
make, an insight check against, the laws of nature to see if this would be a good idea?
It's fantastic. I love it.
We still got 3 direct questions.
Dead ass.
Yeah, as a reminder, you do still have 3 direct
That's
questions
true.
that I will answer
You-
truthfully.
Do we want to ask that as one of the questions?
Would there be detrimental effects to bringing forth bringing back to life one of the party? Yeah, that might be a good idea. I just brought up the idea because, it would give us direct answers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, out of character, why not just speak with Dad?
Yeah, that also. So we don't have to worry about.
Because only
Okay.
Well, by Raw, I'll say this, by Raw, because only Black Mage gets it for some reason, but,
I would be able to use that then.
Well, here's the thing. I've also made it so that, 1, Black Mage does not get it, because that's stupid, but only specifically Black Mage. Okay, so you would not be affected. However, the reason you would not be affected is because all divine casters, so like Astaria, the Sage, the Astrologian, White Mage, Sage, all of them, it's on all of their spell lists because it's a divine spell, and you cannot convince me otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
you
agree.
would still have. So yes, Adwin, you would technically still have it.
Yeah.
It's just not because of the Black Mage, because that makes no sense. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but it usually doesn't take this long to first start swap comps.
No, unless her
No.
mother got between her and decided she wanted to talk.
Yeah, that's what it's feeling like, is that her mother probably was like, hey, I want to talk to you. No. So here's what I'm going to do. To resume the recording now, as you all continued on, I assume, or did you want to do something else?
Well, it sounds like Speak with Dead is a thing that we can do.
Yes. So just as a quick reminder, or as a quick thing, Star, they seem to sort of discuss the possibility of using Speak with Dead with the corpses, and I reminded everyone, and I'm going to say it again for you. Speak with Dead is by Raw on the Black Mage list for some reason. I've removed it from the Black Mage list because it makes no sense. And I put it on.
Did you not give it to me?
No, I did. I basically
Yes,
made
I
it.
thought so because
Yeah.
we
So
spoke with Delger's father
correct.
Yeah.
after he
So
died.
basically, what it is, I removed it from the Black Mage list because it makes no sense to be there, and all healers, so Sage,
What
Astrologian, White Mage, and Scholar, all of them, Speak with Dead is on their spell list. Which means Adwin still has access to it because of Adwin's class. It's just not from the Black Mage spell list.
Which is not a big deal.
Yeah, so I vote instead of bringing them back to life, we talk to them through that.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
guess
so
now we just
so it
pick
seems pretty
which one we
unanimous.
want.
Yeah.
And now it
Exactly.
just seems. Now who do we talk to?
Hard choice.
I would suggest against somebody that's taken damage to the ears.
Yeah, that seems wise.
No argument there.
All right. So
Uh,
who casts it, and who do you cast it on?
I have to use more resources than I would normally for mine. Though if Star doesn't want to use all her spell slots, I'm fine doing that.
Oh, as a reminder, for the main party, everyone except for Shade, if you're a spellcaster, you do not use necessarily. You do not use spell slots. You use spell points.
Yeah.
I'm happy to cast, though. Whoever do you guys want to talk to?
Yeah. As a reminder, there are still limitations on 6th level and above, and Star has today used her 6th level slot. Just as a reminder.
Just 2.
Right. I just wanted to make sure that it's very clear.
Yeah.
And everyone's on the same.
Yeah. No, they have 2 6th level slots.
Yeah, because y'all are level 20 at this point. So.
Yeah.
So who's casting it? Sorry.
I was saying, Speak with Dead is, I thought, a 3rd level spell.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Well, right, but you could upcast it. Maybe it might do something. Who knows? Just so that you know, Titus, I'm very much a DM who I love the rule of cool. So if y'all are like, I want to cast it at 9th level, it might do something. Who knows?
I'm sorry about that. Who do you guys want to cast?
I don't know. Do we want to try to cast it on one of us, or do we want to cast it on?
I think it would be most likely and prudent to cast it on one of you guys. The chances are to get the most information.
Yeah, because it doesn't seem like we can talk to Fumi or the warrior of, or the seed seer.
Agreed.
Oh no, I fully agree.
I agree.
So
Okay, so who do we want to talk to? Dead me, Dead Kryn, or Dead Star?
Advise whoever we do talk with, the one that slayed them, leave the room.
It's probably
Yeah.
a good idea.
Well,
I'll leave the room. And you guys can call me up.
No.
You
no,
didn't
you
hurt
killed
the one
yourself.
who killed them,
Oh.
or who we assume killed them. So, like, if we resurrected, so if we spoke with Dead on me, we would have Velvy leave the room.
Yeah, Velvy would leave.
If you spoke to Astaria, I would leave the room.
Yes.
Correct.
And if you spoke to you, it would be Adwin that left.
Alright. So it's up to you guys.
Well, who would give us the most? Who would give us the most amount of information in the shortest amount of time?
I would also ask in future or before you cast it to make sure you know what questions you are going to ask, because once you cast the spell, you must ask questions of your own accord. You cannot ask other people what should be asked. So before you tell me you cast the spell, make sure that the one that's casting it knows which questions you are going to want to ask.
First and foremost, probably.
Ooh.
Who? Like, who killed you? Why? When?
What led to this?
Yeah, literally who, why, what, where, what, and when, all those literal, like, questions.
Still need to pick who, though.
That's one of the things.
No, I meant who are we asking?
Yeah, who are we calling up?
What have we determined the three of us have died by?
So
Gunshot?
Starbide died by gunshot wound. Kryn, who is the only one in your party who uses guns, died by what appears to be even smaller piercing wounds, which from your party seems to be Aedwin, given that she has a rapier and it's very thin at the edge, especially towards the edge. And then Aedwin appeared to die by slash wounds that were instantaneously cauterized, which, according to Velvy, only her gunblade is able to do, as far as her knowledge is concerned.
I'd like to roll a medicine going between everyone.
Okay. What are you trying to figure out?
Because I know that what I'm trying to do is assess the damage and perhaps draw a timeline of who went down first.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and make your...
I think it would be helpful to talk to somebody who was up longest.
Okay, so go ahead and make
sense.
a medicine check with advantage.
Can I? I was gonna say I was gonna just be give her advantage.
Well, Hattie gives her advantage on all mental checks. So anything that involves intelligence, wisdom, or charisma, she just has advantage on. As long as she's attuned to Hattie, and she can't ever not be attuned until she dies. So, you know. Because when you die, something I figured out, when you die, you lose all attunement. Like if you actually die, not if your HP hits 0, if you're dead, you lose all attunements. So, looking between them, it's really hard to pinpoint who died first. All of the wounds, just because of how many wounds are in each body, it's hard to tell which one really died first. There's just too many wounds for you to be able to really identify who died from which wound and which one died first.
I don't know. Well, I guess of the 3, Aedwin would be the toughest to take down. Like, objectively speaking.
I mean, high AC, high HP, high damage output.
And all of my best damaging spells literally heal me and give me temp HP, and
yeah,
there's no way that she wouldn't be using fire spells if she couldn't.
Stupidly high self-sustain.
Yeah, so
That's
as goofy as
sure,
it would
let's
be
do that.
to talk to herself.
Alright, so Velvy will step out of the room then.
Alright, so then how many questions do we get then, right? How many is it? 5?
It is 5. You get, you grant the semblance of life and intelligence to a corpse of your choice within range, allowing it to answer the questions you pose. The corpse must still have a mouth and can't be undead.
Yeah, so you can ask up to 5 questions. You don't have to ask all 5, but you can ask up to 5 questions. However, just so you're aware, the corpse only knows what it knew in life, including languages, and its answers are usually cryptic, repetitive, and the corpse is under no compulsion to give you a truthful answer. If you are hostile to it, or it recognizes you as an enemy, it does not restore the body to life. It is only animating its spirit. So it cannot learn any new information, and it cannot give you any information based off of events that it didn't know in life.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
So
perhaps we can close up some of the
just as
other
a note,
coffins or
just real quick as a note. It also because this is actually an important thing. It cannot speculate on about future events. That is actually an important thing to know.
Okay.
So, but what were you gonna say,
Maybe
Star?
we should close a few coffins that are in the direct vicinity of the coffin we're at, so they don't look around and see, like, oh, they can't see. Never mind. I was like, what if they see dead bodies and freak out?
So I'm gonna say that our questions are probably gonna be like, how did you die? How
What
did
led
it
up
get?
to it?
Yeah, what led up to it?
Or wasn't it who, what, where, when, why? So who killed you?
I think we should focus our questions on the riddle.
They're not gonna.
What
They
did they
wouldn't-
disagree upon? What did they disagree upon? Half of them agreed, the other half disagreed. 6.
Hmm?
Well, going back to the riddle. Scroll up and up and up.
Okay, then
So
we
the
need to take
riddle-
into account
So
of
the
who's a
quest.
traitor and who's not.
Yeah. So the quest that you would have been granted, as far as an MMO considered, is titled the Cryptic Riddle, and what it gave you was 6 to protect, 6 to deceive, 7 to defend those that agree, 2 will object, 17 to reject, 4 will come, and 14 will give their lives for their power. And you determined, as of last session, that the 7 on the bottom, the 7 knights, were likely the 17, or were likely the 7 that agreed, or that were likely the 7 that defend those that agree, and the 6 to protect and 6 to deceive were likely split amongst those that are amongst the kings and queens that were both faced up and face down. And then the 2 to object you assumed to be the 2 statues that are down here. And the 17 to reject you assume to be a combination of those above. And the 4 will come you assume to be the 4 graves, and then the 14 to give their lives for their power you assume to be the graves on the very side of the crypt. Just as a reminder.
Why don't we just make one of the questions what happened? Because then at least we get an idea of what's happened.
And actually, yes. Everyone would actually see Star tugging at her own face.
Oh.
At the face of the star that's in the actual coffin.
Well, noticing that others noticed, she'll just like pull her hands away, like what?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that all of you see Star like reaching into quote unquote her own grave, and like starting to fidget with her own corpse.
What are you doing there?
Nothing.
I'll stop right
She'll
back.
just like pat her own forehead and cross her arms, like nothing. No.
Are you upset because yours is one of the ones that deceived?
No. I guess it's weird to see myself. Yeah.
Yeah, believe me, it's strange to see myself there, and that's kind of why I'm standing over here.
All right, let's figure out
Okay.
these questions and get going.
Yeah. I say we just type them out and make sure. So, I was gonna leave it vague as to say what killed you, or how did you die, as opposed to like who, because maybe I feel like what happened is too vague of a question.
Well, what happened is a big question, but I
How
mean,
about how did you die, and then what caused this to occur?
Yeah.
I would like to know what the deception was.
Okay, I don't know if they'll understand it's connected to the riddle.
I mean, I understand the connection to the riddle, but there's a reason why they disagreed. Why they had
Okay,
an
but we
argument.
don't know that their deaths are really 100% connected to the riddle. You know what? We have questions left, DM.
Yeah. And I
That
guess
you do.
Sorry
I
to
guess
get
what
really aggressive about that. I just remembered.
no, I mean I guess what I think
You
what
do.
Crin's trying to get at is we don't know if their deaths are related to the riddle unless we ask them, unless we kind of like point a question or two at that. So it's just like, what did you?
But that's just it, is that we don't know, so the question might just be void. And we only get 5. So we could use a DM question to ask if it's related, and then we can ask the more pointed riddle-esque questions.
Yeah.
I thought what caused this to occur would lead us to, oh well, we had a disagreement. You know what I mean?
Right.
My thing is for Kryn to shoot Star. That's one hell of a disagreement.
True. I mean,
Or
you do
was it a
have
possession?
yeah, and you do have 3 questions which you can ask me that I will answer without cryptic riddles or anything. I will answer you truthfully. I'll tell you the exact answer.
So no voodoo strings.
Yeah, no voodoo strings or anything. I will
No
not
voodoo strings
act.
attached.
Yeah, I will not act in the capacity as the GM. I will just give you the answer to the question that you ask.
Okay. So do we want to use a question on that then?
What do you guys think?
I'd be fine using it on that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Same.
So what's
Okay.
the question?
I guess it would be: are the bodies in the coffins, did their deaths relate to the riddle? Is that how we want to word it?
I guess.
Yes. Their deaths relate to the riddle directly.
I see.
How did you die? What caused this to occur? What was the disagreement? Anything else?
Those are
Why
probably
are the-
speak with that question.
Why
so I
are the
assume that's why.
gods here? That's a pretty good question.
Yeah. Why are the gods here?
I was wondering when one of you were going to ask that, because like, I honestly figured that would be like the first question on
Who-
all of
and
your
then-
minds.
And then I think the last question would be: who the fuck are these people?
So So
I guess.
two number
Very
ones there, by
obscure.
the way.
No, she amended it.
Oh,
Yeah, I amended it.
Okay.
I see.
The last one is, just so you're aware, the last one is pretty vague. The fifth
I
one,
know. I just
Who
typed it 'cause
are
it's pretty
the-
funny.
Who are the 7
Knights?
I guess knight. Yeah, who are these 7 knights?
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
How did you die? What caused this to occur? What was the disagreement? Why are the gods here? Who are the 7 knights? Alright. Interesting.
These.
So you have...
I have dyslexia. You leave my spells
No.
alone.
No, I'm making fun of it. No,
No?
no, you got it right.
I did? Oh my god. I'm so proud of myself.
You did. You did. Honestly, the only word you misspelled was occur, and that was just an additional E, and that's it.
Oh, yeah, no, E is like one of my like
Yeah.
tack-on letters. For some reason, my brain's like, an E here makes sense.
Yeah. My brother has dyslexia as well, so I fully
E's as well?
understand. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. He just kind of adds letters and things just cause, so yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Okay. I'm glad.
So,
Alright, let's do this heebie-jeebie magic city.
alright, who are you casting Speak with Dead on?
We already chose.
Edwin.
Alright, I wanted to make sure. Just,
That's why Velvy left the room.
Right. I just wanted to make
She doesn't
sure.
get
I
to be
wanted
in the
to...
room where it happens.
That's true. Unfortunate for you, Velvy. Now I could move Velvy out of the room, but I feel like that is targeted and
Yeah, that's
bullshit.
I am standing where I am specifically so I can listen in, damn it.
Yeah.
And she got big ears. Leave her
Well,
alone.
so here's the funny thing about Speak with Dead. Only you, Star, or whoever cast it, actually hears any response. No one else actually sees anything or hears
I will
anything.
relate
So.
like a puppet.
Yeah, I assumed you did, but I just wanted to actually clarify that. Is like, technically speaking, as per the rule of the spell, you're the only one that knows what's going on. So, but again, that would be like targeted, or that would at the very least feel targeted. So I'm not going to do that. Also, like, y'all are probably going to tell Velvy anyway, so it's whatever. So I don't really care. How did you die? Is the first question you ask Aedwin. And she tells you, as you cast the spell, you can see there's like this breath that's taken by the corpse, and you can see its lungs beginning to expand as her chest rises. This false semblance of life is restored to the body, at least temporarily. As you ask the first question, its head sort of turns over towards you, and you can hear like creaking and cracking of bone as it's forced out of whatever position it was in for so long. And it says, "Betrayal from within."
Fucking cryptic bitch. Sorry, Aedwin, didn't mean you.
Untaken.
The second, what caused this to occur? It tells you trying to think of how I want to word this. What caused it to occur? It tells you, once again, betrayal from within. Now, your third question. What was the disagreement? This one, despite being brief, will likely answer your question. what was the disagreement? How to deal with Arnalder.
What? Okay, never mind.
The fourth one, why are the gods here? She tells you the gods are here because they are required. And the fifth one you are granted is who are the 7 knights? And it tells you that the 7 knights are the blades of Gunhildr. And as you ask that fifth question, the torso of the body and the breath that was animating it is released, and the torso fades slightly, or concaves slightly as the animation magic leaves it. And then I'm sure Star goes about telling everyone what she heard.
Yep.
Adwin, your cryptic is hell when you're dead.
Gee, I'm sure you would be the same way.
Should
Being
we
dead has that
try?
effect on people.
Yeah?
Oh, and also considering that wasn't actually Adwin herself, you can probably just imagine not quite her the way we know her.
Guess now we have to figure out what the hell the rest of it means in that context.
Should we ask someone else then?
Maybe. I guess what the question is protecting from what about Arnalder? We want 6 people wanted to protect him, or
How about for the first 2 questions we got the betrayer within. So how about the first question be who is the betrayer?
Okay, yeah.
yeah? Are we just going to ask Stiff me again?
No, I think we should ask another, see if everything seems to continue to line up and give us new info.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's views are different, right? So,
True.
So who are we gonna ask? Because either me or Aid would have to step out of the room. Otherwise, it'll treat us as hostile.
ask me next.
Okay, then I will step out of the room. And I will position myself where I can hear. Well, I can hear them when they're done, since I won't be able to hear the spirit.
Well, let's be real. Like the VR, it can just kind of like hear whatever is actually audibly said. So y'all are fucking Vera and have enormous
Big
ears.
ears.
Need power!
All right. So your
That's
first
another
question for the
5
next one.
Away from my points.
Yeah. So from what I understand, the next 5, at least the first one, is who is the betrayer?
Yeah.
Okay. So what about the other 4?
Wait, are we asking? Yeah, I was gonna say, are we asking the same questions again, or?
I thought we were, are we not?
I mean, you can if you want. I mean, you'll have a lot of corpses to go through. So it's entirely, if you want to ask the same questions other than the first one, you can.
I
What do
mean,
you
I
guys
feel like they'd have no reason to say that those weren't the blades of Gunhildr. So I don't think the 7. I think the 7 knights one are.
Okay.
Maybe ask about the 14 skeletons.
They
Okay.
might not know. Assuming the skeletons were here longer than them or after them.
Well, yeah, maybe.
They were the only ones who were here, used gentle repose, so
True.
you
What
could
if the
ask if they
people
know
who
the
sacrificed
identity.
their lives for your power?
For their power.
Yeah. How about instead of the gods, what was the wording about the two?
Oh, the two statues back there.
Yeah, what was the wording in the riddle about them?
Two will object.
The two that will.
Who are the... I guess, yeah, who are the two who objected?
Alright, hold on.
Oh, shit.
Who are the two who objected?
And I guess we could also ask about the four up top, too.
How do we ask about the four up top?
What did the
We
four do in the riddle?
What I mean, did we get their names?
For the four?
Yeah.
You do not. The four graves themselves, the four tombstones, are completely blank.
Right. Oh, wait, the other statue thing there, it said entropy on it.
Correct.
How about this? Because I still want to hear if she says the same thing about the disagreement.
Okay, that's fair.
I wasn't sure what to say of entropy, so I said what of entropy.
Yeah. Well, no. Entropy. I know what you meant. So.
Yeah.
So is everyone in agreement for the second casting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Alright.
Yep.
So who is the betrayer, you ask? And
Yeah.
you watch as the head turns from you and looks towards the edge of the sarcophagus, but sort of away from you a little bit. Go ahead and make a perception check for me, Star. $22. You can tell by sort of the angle of it and what the rest of you see is Astaria's head sort of turning and looking towards Velvy.
Oh,
Second question, what is entropy?
What of entropy?
Yeah, so are you trying to ask, like, who it is, or... Like, what is your intent with the question, Star?
I don't know. Do you want to know, like, who they are, like, what was their part in all of this?
So what their part is? Okay.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking the party, because I just kind of wrote that and hit enter like a dumbass.
Oh, okay. Fair
Who is the Knight of Entropy?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So as you ask, who is the knight, or who is entropy? You do not get an answer. In fact, nothing at all seems to change. The head does not move. It simply stays exactly where it is. There's no answer you're given or anything.
Okay.
I'll walk out of
Yes.
the room then.
The next question, what was the disagreement? You get the exact same answer.
Okay, so we know hard fact when we move on to our last round that there will be no difference. I just wanted to make sure it was like 100% because some people say things differently or infer things.
Correct. Right. And then, who are the two that object? What you get back, gotta make sure I'm actually getting this correct. Hang on. So what you get back as far as the two that object are the one who watches the celestial bodies, and the second one is the one who commands the sun and commands fire itself. The fifth one, I'm assuming you're trying to figure out who they are, correct? The 14?
Yeah.
Okay. So, the answer you get back are... confused. They do not seem to have the knowledge of this 14. They do not seem to have any knowledge of this fifth question. So whoever these 14 are seem to have, from what you're able to gather from the question, it seems like these 14 likely died after Astaria did. As she does not have any knowledge of who they are.
Alright.
Okay.
So one who watches over celestial bodies, and the other who commands fire and the sun.
Make religion
I
check.
do know. Damn it. Fine, I won't bring up Cryptic Riddle.
No. If you yourself are aware of the answer, that is fine. But I'm totally fine with the Staria knowing it. Again, Star's like fucking
I'm
nothing
gonna
but a
say
bookworm.
Azima,
But
the keeper
Well,
of
the
the
way they
sun,
make
the
it.
goddess of inquiry. She commands the element of fire and is the keeper of the sun.
Who is? I'm sorry.
Azima.
Azima is? Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Close to Azam and Azim.
Yeah.
Keeper
of the sun, goddess of inquiry. So she.
there was, just as you know, or just so you know, there was also an additional entity listed as the Watcher of Celestial Bodies.
Yes, I was saying the other half, I think, is Azima. And the Watcher of Celestial Bodies.
I guess who are the... Nafika's the navigator, isn't she?
Yes. But no,
One of them is.
If
Oh,
you're
Sean?
are you asking this out of character, or do you want to make it a religion roll for it?
Limlin is the navigator.
Limelin's the navigator?
Yes.
Okay.
If you want to try and figure out who Nafika is in character, you can make a religion roll. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Nofika is the matron goddess.
Indeed.
She's the matron goddess, and I believe she is said to have planted the very sorry, my brain is fighting for all this info. I have it though. I have it.
You're good. Take your time.
She's the scythe wielder. She planted the world tree.
Yggdrasil.
So
Damn, she must
I guess
be-
if we're
Oh.
claiming celestial bodies, what? Upper star.
I'm reading something, and Shade.
Yes.
This is something that, because you are a white mage, you would know this, because this is confirmed as something to do with the Conjurer's Guild. The Conjurer's actions, Shroud of Saints and Sacred Prism, are called Goddess's Protection and Goddess's Compassion in the Japanese version. And the development team has confirmed that this references Nafika, whose altar is outside the Conjurer's Guild. This is something that you would know.
That makes sense, given like it's Nafika's wells is where in Gridania, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would bring this up. I would, just share this information with the party.
I suppose they do fit rather well with the goddesses here.
Yes, it seems so.
Though at the same time, I don't think we can rule out that those also wouldn't be. They could also just be the Whirl and Arnalder. If the Whirl's the start and end of everything, then he definitely watches celestial bodies. And Arnalder, well, he's Phoenix.
Nafika's well. Sorry, my brain is just wandering.
No, you're fine, you're fine.
A goddess of fire and a goddess of earth. Banished out of even the equation. Why would they disagree?
Well, it seems like those two objected, and we didn't like their answer.
But that's just it. Is I wonder as to why.
Well, if this is about how to deal with Arnalder, maybe the goddess has told us to leave him alone. It's the only thing I can think of.
Mighty bold of us to ignore them.
No.
When have we not ignored everyone?
I do not question my cards.
I would like to point out, I want him dead, so if you guys wanted him dead, I wouldn't have disagreed with you.
I wouldn't have disagreed either. I'm over any feelings of sympathy or anything that I would have had for him. He came after me and he messed with my family. Nah.
I'm just giving them names so we can remember to identify them. I don't know which is really which, but whatever. Not the point.
The names put down were put down by me.
No, I just put down their names. of the statues outside. Were we not talking about these ones down here?
No, I get you. Oh, those two. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm just connecting them.
Yeah, gotcha. I didn't realize that there were actually names above those. That's what you're talking.
Yeah, no, I just
Okay.
made them, sorry. Which actually, if we think about it... No, I don't want that. I'll just freehand it. Whatever. Ignore me.
Yeah. Okay. So, with all that information, what do y'all do next?
Well, let's come up with the next 5 questions. We can ask Corinne.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to point that out. So
Mhm.
what do we want to ask her in?
Hmm.
I'd like more info on, like, they're just like what to do with Alnardo or Alnard.
Arnalder.
My mouth rolls into this weird place in my throat.
Yeah.
Arnold
Yeah.
R.
Yeah.
Our
it's,
nugget. I'm gonna call him our nugget.
Arnie.
We are the primals! We are
Lol.
Our nugget!
I must combine myself with the primals to become ultimate God.
Now you're kind of more like
Hulk.
Big Louie.
Why don't we ask her what, in the end, what they chose to do?
Yeah, that's true.
Interesting.
I don't know how to fucking spell that. My brain's tired.
What did the god?
Okay. That's supposed to be the final decision.
Decision, destination, something like that.
Not destination. What was the final decision?
Decision. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said decision. Destination, what?
No,
I don't
you spelled
know.
the
I'm wearing.
instead of a T, there's supposed to be two S's there.
There
So.
we go.
Yeah, or an S there.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's too vague for that, though.
Why?
The final decision of what?
What to do with Alnardor?
Oh. Okay.
Wow, my mouth. Alnard. Oh. Oh my god.
Arnalder.
Yeah, no, it's a Final Fantasy
Arnie.
14
Just
name.
call him Arnie. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's
call
a
him Arnie.
yeah, it's a 14 name.
The final decision with Arnie.
Okay.
He's the governor of California.
Oh my god.
Ja.
No.
Ja. All right. So what are your last 4 questions?
Anyone?
Why are the goddesses intent on protecting him? No, they probably wouldn't know that. Oh, maybe. I mean, if we're in direct opposition of the goddess's decision to protect him,
I'm sure one of the goddesses would have said why. Or we
Why
would.
are the gods protecting him?
I think why are the goddesses protecting him?
Okay.
Okay. So 3 more questions.
Next question.
See how long character sheet out of the way.
Do we know why they attacked each other?
Did the goddesses attack each other? Is that what?
No,
something we-
us.
No, the
Oh.
party.
Yeah. Yeah, I could go on.
Why did the party turn on one another?
Yeah.
That's a very good one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what would what would happen if an alder was to perish? Like, what would the end result be?
We don't know if they
The
know,
go-
though.
Yeah, that
I
is
mean-
a bit of a stretch of a question.
Because we don't know if they chose to perish or something else. We could ask them what, like, they were going between.
I mean, so in my mind, there is the question of are we sure that the goddesses were protecting him? That's the question, because what makes you think that they were protecting him?
Because they disagreed with our choice? I don't know.
But what makes you think that was the choice?
I didn't make that choice of wording, hun. I wanted to do the first one.
I'm simply asking questions. I'm not.
Okay, I just don't have the answer, sadly. Somebody else?
Well, these are general questions. They're not directed at anyone specific.
My thought process behind that, at least, was if the goddesses had a disagreement about if we had a disagreement with the goddesses about Arnalder, we all want to kill the guy. Like, why? Like, clearly the goddesses would have something in mind for him. They want to keep him alive. So, why are the goddesses protecting him?
Okay, but
Yeah,
that doesn't.
what is his purpose?
Okay, but that
Maybe
then
a more general thing, like, what did the gods want with Arnalder? Though they probably wouldn't know that. I did have just like another random one that might be good. What caused Velvy to turn?
That was where I was about to go.
Did you guys read my fourth one?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's valid. I think the last one should just be what caused Velvy to turn and attack everybody.
What made Velvy become the betrayer?
That's a good wording.
That's a good wording.
So who are you casting the next Speak with Dead on?
Kryn, and
Kryn?
Adwin will leave the room.
Kryn? Okay. So, are we confirming that these are the 5 questions?
Yes.
Okay. So, what's the final decision to do with him?
I guess in reference to Arnalder, right?
Right. I assume so. The response you get is unlike any of the ones you got before, in that it's not cryptic, It is not even necessarily repetitive, but it is very brief. You get 2 words as a response to your question. And those words are, kill him.
Yeah.
Very blunt.
Very brief.
You know what? I take back what I said about Kryn's corpse being. It would be the same.
The second one, did the goddesses intend to protect him? As you speak these words to Kryn, the response you get is that no, only the matron. Your third
that's
question,
Interesting.
why did the party turn on one another? The answer you get is a difference in opinion. To your fourth question, what did the group want to do with him, and what was the other option? Unfortunately, this is 2 questions, so you will get one or the other.
Sorry, it's I couldn't find my wording. I just want to know like what were the 2 options, which
Okay.
is probably what I should have
Yeah,
just written.
gotcha.
Thank you.
So the response you get was, or rather is, we were given 2 options. Death or obedience. And to your last question, what caused Velvy to turn? You get a response that is...
Sorry, that should have been changed.
Well, you get... I understand what your intent was. And the answer you get is not necessarily something that any of you were expecting. The answer is... she did not turn. She simply refused to accept the reality of the universe.
What the fuck does that mean?
Jeebus. Also, now I'm wondering if the disagreement is not a disagreement with everyone, but just with each other.
Those are your 5 questions, though, so...
Since I don't trust any of the others with any of the questions, I think the only one we really have left to talk to is Joyful Ginger.
I don't.
Hmm.
I mean, Ginger might have knowledge as to when this place was created and why we have access to it now.
She also says she keeps tabs on us.
She would know what's going on as well as any one of us would. And if she was here, she was part of the overall discussion anyway.
Do we know that she knows about Arnalder?
You don't. You have never told her about her. Or about him.
So I guess what we have to start with for Ginger is how does she know Arnalder? How did she get involved in this? How did she die? Hmm.
I know we don't trust and we don't know them, but I feel it would be interesting to get a view from from one of the knights.
Possibly.
So, as a reminder, so far you have questioned the corpse of Azima, the corpse of Oshan, Kan-e Senna, Kryn, Astaria, and Aedwin.
We did not question the others. We only examined their bodies.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Is those are the ones that you have currently used Speak with Dead on.
No?
No, we only used it on.
On the three of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they.
Or no, yeah,
Not
you're right. You're right.
spoken
You're
God.
right.
We've spoken of the gods.
You're right.
But you know what? You do have a point. We also haven't actually gone and taken time to inspect any. I guess we've inspected everyone.
You've inspected the corpses. So I was mixing it up. It was the corpses that I was thinking of. You've inspected the corpses of Azima, Oshan, Kan-e Senna, Fumiri, Kryn, Astaria, and Aedwin.
Didn't we also inspect Ginger?
No.
No.
I
We
thought
should,
we did.
though.
No.
We were getting ready to, and then we decided to speak to dead, or we were going to raise one, and then we changed to speak to dead.
Correct.
How about
I thought we.
let's
I
look
thought-
at Joyful Nanimo. Our captain here, who I can't say the name of because her name's
Merle
weird.
Webb.
That's her name.
Oh, we looked at Lemley?
You have not. Lemlian.
Lemlian, sorry.
I assume that's how their name is supposed to be pronounced. I have no idea.
And Nofia, we haven't
Nofika.
looked at?
Yeah,
Nafka, yeah.
correct. Nafka, you have not looked at.
Nah. Okay, let's actually take time to look at them, and then we can talk to Ginger.
So you want to look at Limlia and Nafika?
Well, I think we're gonna do all of the rest of
All
them,
of
right?
them.
All the rest of... Gotcha. Alright, so for Joyful Ginger, go ahead and make an investigation check. Whoever wants to, you know. I assume it'd be Kryn. Okay.
I tried. I'm not good at it.
Again, I legitimately don't think Kryn can roll below a fucking 30. I really don't. She hasn't rolled below 30 this entire session for investigation checks. So Kryn, as you look over this corpse and begin sort of stripping it and looking it over. You did look over Joyful Ginger. Joyful Ginger did not show any physical signs of damage or anything. It seemed like whatever killed her was not something that left a mark. That Joyful Ginger was the last one you inspected. She seemed to be killed by what effectively seemed to be natural causes. By what you can actually see. So Nanimo would actually be the next one in line.
Yes, I see. I knew that. I knew we
Yes.
we talked about Ginger,
Yes, exactly.
and then I got gaslit into saying that we didn't.
I
forgot.
I forgot too until I began speaking. I was like, wait, no, I've already described all of this. So no, that instead that 37 goes to Nanimo. Which, thankfully, her body, not that big. It's a Lalafell. Very, very easy and very fast to inspect her body. She... At first, she does not seem to... She seems to be very much similar to Ginger, in that she does not have any physical signs of damage. Kryn, go ahead and make a medicine check.
In medicine, Oh.
With advantage, because like you have 12,000 people there. Looking over her body, she seems to have been killed by a poison.
Oh no.
That's ironic.
Yeah.
Sorry, out of character I am laughing, not in character.
Yeah. No.
We're all out of character laughing, I know it, except for Mars, who is internally screaming at me.
Why is it so true?
Because I know you.
I just cringed.
I'm sure you did.
Is it because the Reapers are talking about family more than fucking Fast and the Furious?
No, it's because Nanamo was killed with poison.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
No, you know.
But I mean, yes, they are. They are talking about family more than fucking Fast and the Furious.
She looks a little like fucking Vin Diesel too.
Yeah, I don't know.
So what else do you do?
I almost
Vin
made a
Diesel
joke.
was an
I'm
old
glad
Garlean woman.
I almost made a really
so-
bad joke.
Next up is Merle Webb.
Yeah. So go ahead and make your investigation.
Okay.
What were you gonna say?
The loving avarice. We didn't do avarice yet, or
I mean, if you want to start including the knights, you can, but you haven't done the knights
that's
so
right.
far.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
I was
You're
gonna say if we want to do the knights, we do them after we finish these ones.
I mean, again, like, if y'all want to do the knights,
There, are you happy? He didn't roll a 30.
I am
happy now.
happy. He finally did it. And not only did he
Also,
not roll a 30, it
wait.
was twice in a row.
Wait.
On investigation.
Hold on. Why are you happy you don't get the lore dump?
I'm not, but I am happy.
You don't know. It still might be enough for Lordom.
Yeah, you never know. Investigating over Merlib's corpse, you can see a combination of injuries, nowhere near as extensive as Fumi's, but you can tell there are slash and piercing marks. The marks do not seem similar to Aedwin's in that they were not instantaneously cauterized. But it's kind of hard to tell what caused a bullet wound without the bullet itself. So she appears to have sustained wounds from both piercing and slashing. But you are unable to determine whether or not they were bullet wounds due to a lack of bullets, and the size of the piercing wounds themselves don't exactly match that of a bullet fired from your gun, but they also don't match that of a rapier.
Okay. Inspecting the next body then?
Yep.
All right. Limlian, go ahead and make your investigation check.
And we're back.
Yeah, and we're back to natural 20s, or natural 30s, of course. You can see on Limlian, there are extremely strange wounds on her. Go ahead and make a medicine check for me.
Keep asking the wrong person for this, Jack.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah,
you're
we
the
could-
one that rolls above a 30, so you're the one that gets the first medicine check. So you are unable to determine the exact type of wounds, or rather, what exactly caused the wounds. But from what you can tell, there are these, like, extremely, almost pinpoint small wounds on her arms and legs. But on her torso, there are these, like, large circular wounds, way bigger than a rapier, and even bigger than a bullet. But they're very clearly holes in her chest. They're not, like, enormously big, but they're probably
It sounds like somebody stuck some fucking rebar
It's,
through her body.
kind of. It's almost the same size as like a metal bar, or like a metal, like, tube that you would find for, like, rebar and whatnot. But it's, looking in the wound, you can clearly see that the wound is made by an object intended on piercing.
Star,
Oh, a spear maybe.
Yes.
can you come and look at these wounds?
Of course.
Alright, go ahead and make a medicine check, Star. A 19. You do see the same wounds and everything. However, you are able to tell that these wounds are made by a spear of a kind. It doesn't seem like a normal spear made these wounds. There are these, like, as you look at the wounds and sort of the exterior at the very top, you can see there, it looks like there's these, like, jagged lines interspaced in the wound itself. It's like it's a spear, but it was like, it's almost like the spear itself was serrated.
She will relay this to the party. That's weird, huh?
Yeah.
Whole situation's weird.
I mean,
Well, yeah, but I'm...
Adwin, go ahead and give me an intelligence check with advantage, because you are
Okey
from Limsa.
Intelligence, you said?
Yes. Natural 20. As Star tells you about these wounds, and you sort of think for a moment, the only weapon that you can think of that is this precise and thick and would also be serrated would be a harpoon.
Maybe a harpoon.
What?
Star, make a
You said it's a serrated spear.
Star and Adwin, go to make religion checks.
I mean, I know who wields a spear, but...
That's 13. Star, you know of a few people who wield spears, but both you and Adwin, as you're looking over Limlian's body, you do remember that not only was she the Watcher of the Seas and Goddess of Navigation, but she's typically depicted as a relatively strong fisherwoman. And normally speaking, the choice of weapon she uses is a long-bladed harpoon.
Another one that killed themselves.
That's
I'll be right back. Continue discussing.
doesn't seem right.
No, it doesn't.
Unless it's some sort of reflect spell, so when she used it against somebody, her spear went into her instead.
Wonder who would
point.
have anything like that.
I'm just throwing shit out. I'm not a mage. I couldn't tell you.
Very helpful. But it is good. Keep throwing things at a wall.
Something.
Something will
I mean,
stick.
yeah, something will stick.
I mean, something will stick like a handful of al dente noodles.
Yes.
Wait, am I the only one as a kid to check if noodles were done would throw them up at the ceiling? My parents.
No, I definitely always.
Healing, I do the wall.
Yeah, I definitely always heard about it, and then I'm like, but why not? If you're gonna eat the noodles anyways, why not just eat a noodle to see if it's ready?
Because you can never tell if it's just the right amount of stickiness.
I used to hold them
Yes.
across the room against a wall.
So,
Oh,
I mean,
oh god, it was bad.
generally you are just supposed to eat a noodle to see if it's done.
Mhm.
I was a kid. I was like 9 years old at the time. I didn't know any better. I just thought, hey, if it sticks really well to the ceiling, it's done. It's good enough. And that's the rule I went by for quite some time.
Noodles stuck up there.
Yeah, there was many, many years of noodles because the ceiling was just tall enough. My parents couldn't just reach up and scrape it off, so they would dry and they would stick to the. And every once in a while, a noodle would come down and fall, and usually land in whatever food my mother was preparing at the time.
Oh no.
Not always a noodle dish.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
Oh no.
So
Oh,
yeah,
Lord.
that was the thing.
Listening to our noodle stories.
Yes, I still had my headphones on. That's why I told y'all to continue to discuss.
We just were discussing what you expected us to discuss.
That you know what? That's very true. It's very true. Yeah. So I assume y'all go to Nothica next.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All
Yep.
right. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Fuck you, no.
I gave you one.
1. And you're still above a 30.
But now you can't say I've always rolled a 30 or above tonight. Cause
Well,
I
no,
gave you
you've
one.
still rolled only a 30 or above because your result is a 32.
No, well,
No.
no, he got the 24.
There was one up there I got a
Oh.
24 on
Yeah, that's true.
for an investigation.
That is true. That is true. That is true.
She only missed once!
That's true. Looking over Nothica, it's strange. Her wounds are not. They appear to be slash wounds, but they do not appear to be of a standard weapon. They seem to be it almost seems like they're pointed in a way, but the wounds themselves are elongated. They're clearly made of slashing type damage. But there's something about them that's not the normal slashing type. There's something about them that it separates them from like a great sword or a long sword or even a gun blade itself. There's just something about these wounds that's different than the standard slashing weapon. Star.
Use a little bit more
Good. Yeah.
And
medicine.
there's Star's medicines check.
What
Hold
were you?
on, actually.
What were you saying, Shade? Sorry.
Oh, just very different. It's not a lot of info to go on.
True.
And
Uh.
I can.
Yeah. So, Star, as you look at these wounds and sort of look them over, yeah. For you, Star, these are something about them is familiar. And for you, Shade, at the very least, they are. You can, if nothing else, Shade, you can confirm that they're of a kind of slashing weapon, but you're not entirely sure what.
Does the 32
However,
at least tell us, like...
Well, hold on.
Okay.
However, for you, Star, on your medicine check, as you're looking them over, something about them feels familiar. As you're looking them over, that's when it dawns on you. These wounds are from a scythe.
And I do believe we
Your
were
scythe.
told earlier that Nafaka wielded a scythe.
Yes. That's true.
So why are these goddesses killing themselves?
Again, I'm going to throw spaghetti noodle at the
Jam?
wall and check to see if it sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Are we sure there's no sort of reflected damage somewhere where they're shooting a spear or slashing with the scythe and getting the damage reflected onto them instead?
And what were you going to say, Star?
Oh, chat.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that it was a DM.
problem.
So okay. Blah 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 blah. I gotta look up things for how that works because I'm smart and
I also don't know if it works like this.
I
don't know if we've ever done this.
There's a
Yes,
okay.
we have.
It's in
We have.
announcements. It's in announcements. I didn't put it in updated rules for whatever reason. I put it in announcements. I had to figure out what the DC was. All right, so and okay, all right. What is your DC for this? Star? For you, it would basically be your spell save DC, whatever that is.
Yeah, so that would be 20.
A 20. Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
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 I love all of you guys. Everyone just come in with a wow. Yes.
Wow.
As you begin to focus, your attempts are rejected, and you fail. Although, only just. She rolled a 20 on her save, so.
Then I'll go
Just
back to. We're at Nafika. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I'll go back to our sailor babe.
Oh, Limlian?
Yep.
Okay. You gonna do it on her?
20.
Things and stuff and stuff and things. She gets to roll that and all of that. All right. She also saves against you, although her she rolled much higher than Nafika did.
God damn.
No harm in trying again on Nafika.
Yeah. I mean, if you want, you can try.
She just starts frustratedly wandering between the two graves.
Well, so actually, what you all see, as far as this is concerned, is start looking for about a minute, just hard staring at Nafika, before she turns away from her, looks towards Limlian for like a hard minute, before turning away from her and starting to look back at Nafika. It's like, it's a hard stare. It's not like she's just kind of like in thought. It's very clearly something more than just her like trying to figure something out. However, while you are all doing that, hello.
I broke through.
Well, she rolled a 12. So you know, she failed. She failed. Yeah. Yeah. It's really unfortunate for her. So, yeah. Okay.
Do you record in here or no?
Yes, I record all these private conversations. However, they don't get to learn about these unless they actually watch the recording.
Okay.
So, you know, if they want to watch the recording, they get out of character knowledge. But, so, as you focus on this once more and try to push your way past, you do get an immediate sense of repulsion from it. However, you manage to push through, and as you push through, you find yourself in what can only really be described as a battlefield. You can see spells of all kinds being thrown around. You can see various entities dressed in all manners of clothing. Although, one thing they all have in common, or at least most of them have in common, are the coloration of their clothing. And that nearly all of the individuals are dressed in some kind of red outfit of some kind. Some of them are similar, some of them are different, but they're all dressed in like some kind of red outfit. All of them are casting spells, and all of them are holding a rapier as well as a catalyst of some kind, very similar to Aedwin. And you're seeing this all from almost a like first-person perspective, as though you are on this battlefield. And it very very much the same as that feeling. You can feel yourself moving about this battlefield and engaging in combat against these other individuals. You can feel yourself fighting against them, and you can feel yourself having this desire, this need to win. This overwhelming urge that no matter what, you must win. You do not have a choice in this. And so you can feel yourself fighting with everything you have, throwing spells out that you yourself do not have access to. They're spells that you don't know what the spell is, but you can see them being thrown out, not just by you, but by seemingly almost select individuals around the battlefield. These spells that almost reshape the very, they're spells that shape the very, or reshape the very, your very surroundings. Spells that cause the earth to bend and buckle and rip apart in ways that are far exceeding spells that even you, as you are now, are not capable of doing. Spells that just consume, that cause the ground to just rise up and devour large swaths of individuals. You're in a war. Whoever you are, as you yourself, as a starry, are looking out and seeing this battlefield. This is not just a battle. It's not just a conflict. This is an all-out war. That's where the vision ends. The rest of you, all you see is Star turning back to Nafika. In a brief moment where her head tilts to the side, and then she falls unconscious and collapses to the ground.
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna rush to her side and make sure she's okay.
Make a medicine check.
Yeah, same.
So,
Make a medicine check. Sorry, my bad.
medicine. Alrighty, medicine check coming up. With or without?
Given that there's at least 3 others of you, it's with advantage. She seems to be stable. She does not appear to be injured of any kind. It does not seem that she is in any life-threatening danger. It seems like... It honestly just kind of seems like she fainted. There's not really any... She does not seem to be in need of immediate medical attention or anything. She just seems like she fainted.
I think at this time we've learned all we can here for now. I think possibly getting her upstairs and somewhere where she can lay down and recover is probably for the best.
Yeah, that sounds... Yeah, we'll probably have to come down here another time and figure out what the hell to do with the rest of this. So I really don't know what to make of this.
Neither do I.
We will internalize and process the information that we have received, and maybe we can figure something out once we've slept on it, I guess.
Out of character, we have to come back and talk to Ginger at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have to talk to all of them. We gotta talk to the knights too.
Ow.
Alright. So, as you grab her body and begin to make your way back upstairs, and placing her down in one of the beds to let her rest, you begin to sort of reflect and think upon what exactly has happened and transpired, and all this new information that you've been given. Funny, you should ask that, Star. But as you do that, you all begin to sort of begin to finally sort of separate into your own rooms, allowing her to rest, as well as beginning to rest yourselves. And that, as you all enter your first long rest of the night in your new house, is where I'm going to end it for tonight. So, go ahead and place yourselves wherever it is that you are going to be taking your long rest, as well as wherever it is that you drop Star off, whether that's in her room, or maybe Velvy's room, or Crin's, or whoever's, you know.
Because true, we have to watch over Chi-Chi as well.
Yes.
What do you guys do?
Yes. Who, I assume by now you likely would have, because she is still asleep.
She's still in my bed.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there next time, as well as what happens.
You guys leaving Star over there?
Next time on Dragon
No,
Ball
we'll put
Z.
Star in her bed.
Velvy would. Oh, I was gonna say you could.
Sure.
What were you going to say, Magnus?
Network.
Sorry.
No, that was it. She got it.
I connected the dots.
Yes. You two have a wonderful night together, sleeping together. And so we'll see what happens after all of your long rests next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Ball Z.
And who knows, maybe next time we will be sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. We'll see.
No.
And with that, we'll go ahead and jump immediately into the 3 questions, starting with Astoria. Hello.
Hello. I'm just enjoying all this thinking we have to do, and I know it's annoying to get cryptic answers, but it's also just really fun because we get to just do more puzzle. I love puzzles. So nothing really bothered me, honestly. I'm just having a great time. And I just look forward to more of it.
Having a good time.
Ooh, wonderful. So what did you enjoy about the session though?
Oh god.
Where am I going?
I enjoyed getting to work with everyone to come up with interesting and good questions to ask the 3 of our bodies. I just really like working together.
Yeah, y'all, I will admit, y'all had some really good questions. Some really good questions. It's really great.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, we'll go over to Adwin. Hi.
Hello. Yeah, I enjoy the critical thinking that's been going on the past couple weeks. It's a nice change of pace. I'd rather, it's good to not be in a life or death situation where we have to, critically think in combat, but it's fun to just have, puzzles to do.
Sure.
And I'm really enjoying that. And asking the stiffs questions was a very interesting and an eye-opening experience. And yeah, I can't say I disliked anything. It was good. Yeah, looking forward to seeing what comes from what we learned from today. And also Adwin playing with her new toy that I got.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
all right. Wonderful. Next up, we'll go to Shade. Hi. I heard you yawn, so I decided to go to you next.
Yeah, my brain is just not
I want
good.
to pick on you. So.
Alrighty. Let's see. What did I like? Well, I mean, unfortunately, having missed the last mission because of Thanksgiving late dinner and all that kind of stuff, I wasn't sure what I was going to come into, and whether or not, like, since Shade is kind of a late addition, if he would be included in like the bodies somehow or not. So it was kind of a puzzle that I was kind of curious as to see what would happen.
To be fair, just as a note, to be fair, even Delger's body was not contained within them as well. Just as a
To be
note.
fair, I was really cryptic in explaining what he meant.
But as a note, and I will say, like, him not being there has nothing to do with him leaving the campaign. So him not being there is intentional. But continue, Shade.
Didn't see anything I didn't like. I can't really say anything like per se, a lot of the questions being asked were a little bit above my head just because I wasn't part of the campaign. So it's mostly one of the reasons why I stayed silent, other than offering a couple of potential questions or rewording questions so they made a little bit more sense. Because I just didn't feel like I had the experience or the character interaction enough to actually partake adequately.
But that was very helpful.
Yeah.
But let's see. What am I looking forward to? I have a feeling this is going to bring up a whole plethora of potential adventures. Not the least of which, not killing each other. Essentially, and avoiding this potential future at all costs, if possible. It'll certainly, time is not something to fuck with. Like, every single chance I've had in a game to fuck with time, it's rarely, I will not say never, but rarely has it ended well. And so this will be an experience. And playing a intellectually based character is making it extremely different. Because most times I used to play big, dumb, barbarian type, I hit it die, I happy kind of character.
Don't worry, that's me.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, but now you're
yeah,
right
but
there with you.
you are still somewhat, gifted with some intelligence, whereas, this is very much... I only have one other character like this, and it's been entertaining.
If you see my other characters, Magnus can attest, my two other characters for his two other games are big, dumb, punchy boys.
That's funny.
They are.
Well,
And they are some of them are fun characters in the party.
I mean, they bring an aspect to the party that it's not something that would be easily replaced.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Speaking of Velvy, we're saving you for last. Kryn, hello.
Hello.
Oh, burn.
So mean.
I love the puzzle. I love the puzzles. I've always loved the puzzles. We're having fun with this one. It's taken a good long time, and it's keeping me active and entertained. What I didn't like. The cryptics. But I realize and I understand they have to be there. But, God. It's like, we asked a simple question. Even a yes-no answer would have been better.
Yeah.
Things I'm looking forward to solving this riddle, which the riddle's missing out of the Discord chat.
So here's what I did is I took all of the stuff that was posted from last session and I moved it over to the party notes.
Okay, I didn't see it in the party notes.
Yeah, right. I tagged all of you using the custom special roles, so.
What is it?
It's under lore. Right under the...
Another thing I'm looking forward to is continuing my adventures with 5e and hopefully finding a game where I can play a not so good scion telepath. For all.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right.
Too many things can go wrong. That why?
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed all of the session. Being able to just kind of fool y'all and making y'all think so many different things, and then y'all think other things, and you're like, we're gonna do this thing, and I'm like, oh, you're gonna do that thing, all right. Basically, I have nothing planned for like several more sessions. I fully intended on just giving y'all downtime to do whatever it is y'all want, because I know y'all have a lot that y'all want to do, and you need a lot of downtime to do it. So I have nothing for a few sessions intended on happening. Obviously, if y'all just decide we're gonna go fight on Alder, I mean, I guess y'all go to track down an Alder or whatever. But like, I don't have anything planned. So what y'all are doing is like super cool, and I love it. I love it all. It also lets me just give y'all like lore, but with the way you're doing it, it lets me give you lore, but cryptically.
Which is definitely your preferred style, it looks like.
Yes, I prefer to be cryptic. Because I want my players... See, I mean, as we're all well aware, I'm a Final Fantasy nerd. I've grown up with it. So, in all Final Fantasy games, it's just give you cryptic bullshit that doesn't make any sense until after you complete the game and continue to start it again. And it's like, what the fuck? So, yeah. It's just... I love the fact that y'all are using spells to try and figure things out, right? Like, obviously, I know there are certain circumstances that like allow certain spells and whatnot, like speak with that, blah 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 blah. But like, I just want to re-emphasize that I primarily really love the rule of cool. So like, for Staria, for example, you already created a cantrip, right? So
yeah, I need to sit down and make more ideas.
Yeah, so given that y'all know you have at least a few more sessions of downtime, just if you want to try and create a spell, like it's possible. There are rules for it and whatnot. But yeah. Just everything y'all are doing, I love it all. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I was trying to drag it out as long as possible to make Velvy just really, really angry with me. But I don't think I can drag it out anymore. So, Velvy.
You also need to try a lot harder than that if you want to make actually angry.
Fair enough.
That's my secret. I'm always angry.
No, my secret is there's so much that has happened in life that so many things I don't give a damn about anymore.
Apathetic.
Yeah. Right now, I think the
Basically.
biggest way to make Magnus angry is if you legally change your name to Dylan.
No, fair enough.
Or if you're my father.
Yeah, that too.
Well, see, I might be, but I would never tell you knowing that, so...
Why'd you go to the store? You went to the suit store to get clothing and never came back.
Okay, I mean my father as I know him, because...
Well,
yeah.
Obviously.
Anyway.
But,
3
questions relating to the session, and not your father.
Yeah, well, I mean... Didn't really dislike anything, because when is that ever a thing that happens? Far as things I like, well, I find myself wishing that my brain would make better connections, because I feel like I am missing things that I should not be.
Well, thankfully, they're all recorded and soon to all be uploaded, so...
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I'll have to go back and listen again, and potentially a few times. But that's fine. I mean, I like being stumped. It's okay.
That's fair.
Yeah, honestly, since my brain's in Endwalker mode, I'm just like, I'm not like looking for like, oh, I knew this was gonna happen. I'm just like, oh, what could possibly be going on?
I also really do like that you categorized Velvy more as just could not accept reality and decided to
Say no.
just say nah, fuck it. I'm gonna do my own thing. Cause yes, that's her. I reject your reality and I substitute my own using my gunblade if I have to. So yeah, that I do really like. What I am looking forward to, A, trying on that new thing, B, figuring out what the hell is going on with this puzzle, C, kicking Arnaldo in the dick.
Yeah.
Because he deserves it.
Yeah,
he really
fuck that
does.
Fair. Fair. Very fair. The only thing I will say before we fully end tonight's session, Velvy, I need a Constitution saving throw from you, but with disadvantage.
You bastard.
She kicks in her sleep.
I mean, it's basically the same roll either way. So,
All right.
You know.
Well, what I will tell you immediately is that you are going to wake up at the point of exhaustion.
oh gee, thanks. Just what I wanted.
Someone kicked in her
Don't you
sleep.
squint at me. I know who you are. Don't you dare squint at me.
Mm.
I squint at you.
Don't you dare squint at me.
I squint at you harder.
Don't you
I
dare.
squint in thy general directions. Ah!
With that,
Oh, no.
we're going to...
I bite my thumb at you.
With that, we'll